You're watching the 2024 Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Yash Technologies.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the Grand Prairie Cricket Complex, Grand Prairie Cricket Stadium. This is yet another matchup in the 2024 minor leagues. Yash Technologies is a presenting partner. Now the sponsor is Anand Milk Union Limited, or AMOL, and IRA Sportswear is the official apparel partner. This matchup featuring the same two teams as yesterday. If you were with us yesterday, you saw where the Lone Star Athletics batted first, put up a relatively paltry score, and it was overhauled in pretty emphatic fashion by the Dallas Xforia Giants. Same two teams locking horns again today, and the Dallas Xforia Giants will be looking to carry on what they started. The Lone Star Athletics will be looking to, hopefully in some ways, make a better account of themselves than they did last night. This is Brian Walters. I'll be with you for the entirety of this match. This again is the Central Division in the Minor League Cricket 2024 season. We are probably 2 minutes away from the players and umpires taking the field and us getting started. And while we do that, or while we wait for the players and umpires to come on the field, maybe we'll look at the points table. Quick look at where we are now. The top of the table is actually being led by the Chicago Kingsmen. There you see 3 wins, no losses, and a superior net run rate. So they earned 6 points, but by virtue of a better net run rate, they are ahead of the St. Louis Americans. Dallas Xforia Giants, the 3rd team on your table. So the 3rd best team in the league here. The Houston Hurricanes, number 4. The Lone Star Athletics, who are playing tonight, on 4 points, number 5. And so there's a bit of distance starting to develop between the top teams and the lower teams at the bottom. For the Dallas Xforia Giants, if they bat with the same order that they did yesterday, they will open with those first 2 on your list, Chaitanya Bishnoi and Arjun Mahesh. Arjun Mahesh, the young 17-year-old phenom, wicketkeeper batter. And I think the strength of the batting lineup is in 3-4-5. Akashik Gomel, I think, is the best batter on the side. Naushad Sheikh is very good. And then Shubham Ranjani is a major leaguer and a brilliant middle order batter and a finisher. And even the bowlers down the end can give you some luster blows if they need to also. So you'll have to look up for them. In fact, you can see there, as we see the Lone Star Athletics team, the umpires and the Lone Star Athletics are taking the field. Awazia Arakanantha are the 2 openers. Nitish Kumar, Mohammed Usman, Shatrughn Rambran, and Aryan Satish. Sidesh Patar, Shreyan Satish, which is good. He's not gotten the game all year, Shreyan Satish. And then Karan Patel, Imran Khan Jr., and Nakash Basarat. Those last 2 names are the 2 opening left-arm fast bowlers. Spoke about them a lot yesterday. We're missing 1 left-arm fast bowler today. That would be Laksh Parikh. He's not in the side. But the openers will be making their way to the middle shortly. We have the umpires and the Lone Star Athletics on the field, and here come the openers. They are, in fact, going to be Arjun Mahesh and Chaitanya Bishnoi. Umpires for the day are Karthik Nachamuthu and Samir Bandekar. Those of you who've been following cricket in this country and in this city for a long time will know the name Samir Bandekar probably more than you would the name Karthik Nachamuthu. But Karthik Nachamuthu only been on the scene here in the U.S. for about 2 years, but he is an absolutely brilliant and experienced umpire, somebody who really knows the game well, to the extent that he can quote chapter, line, and verse of every league or every rule, every regulation in the book, and I'm not exaggerating. He can't exactly do that. Samir Bandekar, of course, again, one of the more experienced umpires that you'll find anywhere. So the openers have made their way to the middle. Arjun Mahesh will take first strike, 17 years old. He'll be facing up to the extreme left arm swing of Nakash Basarat, who, when you saw him in Houston a couple of weeks ago, swung the ball a mile. Based on how it swung yesterday, maybe the conditions in Houston are a little bit more conducive toward swing bowling. Didn't seem to swing it as much, but still very accurate. And any swing that you see from him will be into the right-handed Arjun Mahesh. So Arjun Mahesh will be confident that he'll need to come forward and cover the swing. There you see, just looking on his stance, he's batting on what appears to be middle stump guard. Umpire Nachimutu says play, and here we go. Heard a noise. Signaled wide, so umpire Karthik Nachimutu does not believe that there was a noise, but players are appealing for a catch. Certainly not given as a catch, but also you see there a little bit of remonstrating by Nakash Basarat, wanted to plead his case that that would have at least touched something, and I thought I did hear a noise, but the final word is umpire Nachimutu's, and so we start out here with a wide down the leg side, and that is the first run of the day. Arjun Mahesh getting one. As I mentioned, it will be swinging into him, so maybe evidence of a little bit of swing there going down the leg side. By the way, I said it was going to be Chaitanya Bishnoi. It actually is Remandar who's the other opening batter, so apologies for that. Bishnoi coming in later, further down the lineup. This is played into mid-wicket, gets past the captain Sidesh Patari, and the first run off the bat. So they pull the old, as they call it, switcheroo on us, and Karthik Nachimutu is the umpire at the bowler's end, the river end, the southern end of the ground here in Grand Prairie. And it is going to be now Remandar, who is another young man. Talked before about the fact that there is an initiative to make sure that the players, or each team that takes the field in minor league cricket, fields at least 2 U21 players. So the 2 at the wicket right now are 2 U21 players, both very good. Great delivery. So Remandar is a left-handed batter, and he is facing up to a tremendous swing bowler. I said that he swings it into the righty, which by extension would mean that he swings it away from the lefty. So pay attention to that, because that ball will be coming in. As you look at the screen, it will be curling from the left of the screen to the right, which means that you have a slip fielder in position, top right, for that reason. Because if that ball curls away and kisses the outside edge, then that man at slip will be in play. There it is again, another great delivery. Arya Kananta, the keeper, who is very alert behind the stumps, and he's going to be ready for those edges, but I don't know at this stage of the innings, after having seen the opening batter play and miss twice with a brand new ball, that you don't put another slip in there. I wouldn't mind them being a little bit more aggressive. You're inside the power play. The power play is the first 6 overs, the first 36 legal deliveries. 2 fielders allowed outside the inner circle. If you look at the top left of your screen, you see that little white dot. Picture a circle that goes all the way around the middle of the pitch with that white dot as the diameter. 3 on the trot here, beats him, all ends up. And this is really asking several questions of young Remandar. Anyway, so as I started saying, that circle that goes around the pitch, think of it as the diameter being about the length of where that white dot is to your top left. Take a look at this again. Look at the replay of this ball leaving young Remandar. Curling in and swinging away. That ball is unplayable. Absolutely unplayable. And if I were Remandar, I might think about batting about a foot outside of my crease. And there you see, top right of your screen, they do bring in a second slip. That is Nitish Kumar, great USA and former Canadian international. Because that ball is swinging, I think that's a very good strategic move. Once again going right past the outside edge. This is high quality swing bowling. 1 ball remaining here in over number 1. This is absolutely brilliant stuff from Nakash Basarat. And I mentioned yesterday it swung, but not as much as it did in Houston. Well, today it looks as though it's swinging a little bit more. For those who are not aware of how or why the ball swings, essentially it's physics. The ball, if you angle the seam just toward the top right of your screen and release the ball essentially with a straight wrist, the ball moves in the air toward the direction that the seam is angled. So pay attention to that as we go through. This is the last ball of over number 1. Finally gets bat to ball. Yes, no, but they'll end up not taking a run there. Brilliant first over, bowled here by Nakash Basarat. Made the ball talk, as they say. End of over number 1. The score is 2 without loss.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
So the second of the 2 left-arm opening pace bowlers will be in operation here from the theater end. Imran Khan Jr. Not quite as quick as Nakash Basarat, but similar delivery, swinging it into the righty, away from the lefty. Oh my goodness! Top of middle, and that is the first wicket. Arjun Mahesh gets one to sneak between bat and pad, and the top of middle is disturbed. The zing bails and the stumps light up, and the first wicket goes. What a brilliant first delivery from Imran Khan. I think you'll see that this swings in. Look at this delivery, similar delivery. So swinging in from outside off, look at that. Absolutely brilliant. Didn't swing a mile, but did enough to come back in and miss that inside edge and go on and crash into the top of middle stump. The first wicket goes. That is a big one. Arjun Mahesh being sent back here, and all of a sudden the Dallas Xforia Giants, who batted yesterday without much pressure, they were chasing a relatively low total. The target was 112, and they made it look very easy. But a little bit of a different situation here. Naushad Sheikh is coming in at number 3, as Arjun Mahesh, unfortunately for him, doesn't reproduce what he did yesterday. So take a look at this again. Look at this delivery, swinging in from outside the line of off stump. Absolutely brilliant delivery. I said top of middle. That's actually top of off. It didn't swing a whole lot, but did enough to sneak between bat and pad. Look at this, just missing the inside edge and just a slight gap there. That is not a very big gap, but Imran Khan Jr. exploits it to perfection. Absolutely brilliant. And boy, there's not a lot you can do with that. So the new batter is in. Short delivery, go! That's put down. First delivery played in the air and right at the captain at short cover, and that in all likelihood should have been a catch. Got to him probably knee height and to his left. Sidesh Patar is a very good fielder, and I think he'll tell you that he should have taken that one. Look at this. I can't see quite there, but it did get to him on the full. You see that reaction from him just will tell you that it was there in time. Right there, you see, did get to him with the opportunity to get that catch. So a little bit of action there. All of a sudden, the new batter in, almost got dismissed first ball, Nurbasha Sheikh, but turns out that he was given a life by the captain. We'll see exactly how well he is able to do again. Look at this replay again. This will tell you. Just there, seemed to have been wrong-footed initially. If we can see that one more time, he was leaning initially to his right and then went back to his left. So he might have just been wrong-footed there. And again, I think he'll tell you that he should have taken that one. So a little bit of activity here. Yeah, started walking in. Of course, you want to see all the fielders on the infield walking in, but was just a touch wrong-footed that time. You're trying to take the attack on to the bowlers now, a shot at the non-strikers end. A lot of activity all of a sudden. And I'll tell you, quick single pinch that time, because this batting pair, who is just now coming together, is already starting to feel a little bit of pressure. Look at this throw coming from that fielder short cover. That's Nitish Kumar, and he will hit that 9 times out of 10. That is the one time that he would have missed that. He's a brilliant fielder, whether in the outfield or in the infield. And I think you might consider yourself lucky there. You didn't lose another wicket. That's a more confident stroke. Played away into the big side of the field. Long run, and they'll get at least 2 Clean pickup and a throw. Coming back for the third. And they'll get 3. That is good running. And almost thought they might have gone for an overthrow there, but confident looking stroke. So this one is on his pads. Again, it's an in-swinger. But if you get it started outside the line of off stump, as was the ball to Arjun Mahesh, then it's more dangerous. If it's onto your pad, then it's a little bit more difficult for the bowler and easier to play for the batter. Look at this throw. Oh, that would have been asking a question or two had that been a direct hit. Boy, so a very frenetic start here. So much happening in just 9 deliveries, and that's slapped in the air toward the short side of the field. That is Shreyan Satish down there at the boundary. No, never mind. That is Shreyan Satish. And a good strong throw, but a lot of activity in over number 2. 6-run score, a wicket falls, could have had another wicket, almost another run out, and all sorts of activity. Score after 2 is 8 for 1. So we can finally take a breath because a really frenetic start, and you get the sense that it will continue as these 2 left-arm fast bowlers are making the ball talk. Remandar 2 from 7 facing up to Nakash Basarat. This is a good athletic stop at backward point. Oh my goodness, yes, no, and almost a run out. And so if you are Nakash Basarat and you are swinging the ball around corners, I think you will want to stay on the fuller side. And right there, his captain is having a chat with him. I think he wants him to pitch this ball up. Look where this lands. Very short, and that gives you enough time as a batter to be able to adjust to the length of the ball and to the line of the ball. Even if it's swinging, you're much more dangerous when you pitch that ball up. So let's see if he goes back to that length. Slightly short again, so handles it better, Remandar, if the ball is short. If it's full, then it's more difficult to play because when it stays in the air longer, it has longer to swing, and then it gives you, as a batter, the threat of going close to the outside edge because it's leaving you. And so as a batter, you want that ball to be short because then you can adjust to it after it pitches. Before it pitches is when it does the most damage through the air. So let's see if he goes back to that fuller length. Three straight deliveries. Oh, this is going to be a sloppy piece of cricket and an overthrow, and they sneak a run where there really should not have been one. So he handled the shorter deliveries better, Remandar. 2 from 9. You see that, in fact, that after that single, the 2 from 9, make that 3 from 10 for him. But I think you'll want to see him bowling a fuller length if you are the captain of the Lone Star Athletics, Sidesh Patari. Because you saw him beat Remandar 3 consecutive deliveries in the first over where he had absolutely no way of getting any bats on it. Those were all to fuller deliveries. So let's see now how Nurbasha Sheikh handles this in-swinger. That's the length that you want. That is the length. And look at the reaction of Nurbasha or Nakash Basarat, because that is the length that will cause problems. Look at this. It will be swinging in, and it is the length, the fuller ball that will cause trouble. Look at this. Oh, unplayable. That reaction says it all right there. You are much more dangerous as a swing bowler when you bowl it that full. And he's bowling in swingers, so he has a slip fielder top left of your screen, but you don't get the sense that the slip fielder will be called on very often with the ball swinging that much. If it comes off the edge, it will go toward the leg side. Let's see what he does here with this next delivery. Shorter length again. So again, at the risk of repeating myself, I think he's a much more dangerous bowler when he bowls it full. When he gets it full and has that batter reaching forward, it's much more difficult to play because he's getting a late swing. From that shorter length, the batter is able to see it and he's able to adjust. Look at that delivery again. That was the fuller one. curling in between bat and pad. A very similar delivery to the one that dismissed Arjun Mahesh. And now with the lefty on strike for the last ball of over number 3. Still one slip. So it looks as though the philosophy has changed. Here's the last ball. Oh my goodness, again found the outside edge with the fuller ball. That is what you want. Coming back for the second run, not out. That is a brilliant piece of bowling once again. I want to see that replay because it was a full ball. Again, much more difficult to play when it's full. Here he finds the outside edge, and that diving attempt at backward point easily could have been a catch. It would have been a really difficult catch. So a moral victory to the bowler that time because that absolutely found the outside edge. Brilliant bowling by these opening bowlers. Good diving attempt there to get back into his crease by Ramandar. So no trouble from that standpoint. But a frenetic start continues. End of 3, score is 12 for 1.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
12 for 1. There you see that attempt at backward point, diving attempt at a catch. Not able to get that one, get it to stick, but you're asking the right questions here, these two left-arm fast bowlers, and they're absolutely bang on target. A number of balls off the edges and some difficulty in being able to build anything of note. So once again, it's a frenetic start. Second over being bowled now by Imran Khan Jr. Starts with a dot. Starts with a single. This is more confident. Good tip and run stuff and confident running. And you want to make sure, if you can, to rotate the strike. Even if the big shots can't come in just yet, I think it's going to be incumbent on you to do what you need to do to try to manufacture some runs. Runs are very much at a premium right now. Bottom of your screen, the run rate is 4.2. 4.2 translates or projects to a score of 84. You'll need much more than that on perfect batting night, good batting conditions. Goes past the outside edge. This time the left-hander or left armer changes up. Everything so far was swinging in. This one holds this line going across the right-handed batter and through to the keeper. And you have that type of skill to be able to have some coming back in and then have others going across. It becomes absolutely difficult for you as a batter. So high skill bowling here. And as soon as I say that, I jinxed him, fires one down the leg side. So that's the second wide of the day. This opening pair, meaning the opening bowlers, absolutely have done well with the ball here. And I think that you've seen evidence that the ball is swinging, certainly swinging more than it has tonight or yesterday. Weather conditions there you see 88 degrees and clear, 88 degrees Fahrenheit, somewhere around, let's call it 31 degrees Celsius. So muggy conditions, and it's a lot more humid tonight than it was yesterday. And my sense is that with that heavier air, with the humidity in the air, that is why the ball is swinging a lot more tonight than it was yesterday. And boy, I tell you, if you have the ability to swing the ball, this is the kind of weather that you want to bowl in. Relatively, well, it's not cool, but it's certainly not 100 degrees like it was a couple of weeks ago. Good ball again, going past the outside edge. Nurbasha Sheikh 6 from 9. Ramandar 6 from 12. The partnership in its infancy, just worth 13. And many of those 13 runs so far are, let's call it, the unconvincing variety. Now, there's a man at deep mid-wicket, and it's the large side of the ground. It is that side of the ground that is 80 yards. That's Mohammed Usman who's down there. At some point, you might see a short delivery asking him to play in that direction. That is played into the covers. No run. A good over bowled here by Imran Khan Jr. 3 runs coming from it. One of those 3 was a wide, so not much off the bat so far for this pair. End of 4, the score is 15 for 1.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
$15 for 1 in this matchup here between the Dallas Xforia Giants and the Lone Star Athletics. First bowling change, this is going to be Awazia, medium pacer, bowling inside the power play. He was the first one to take a wicket yesterday, bowling to the Dallas Xforia Giants. Openers yesterday did not have as much success as they've had tonight, meaning the opening bowlers. And I think Awazia is the one who changed the conversation and gave them just a hint of a chance to see if they could get back into the game yesterday. Ultimately, there were just not enough runs to be able to defend, so they fell short at the end, the Lone Star Athletics. But Awazia has bowled very well. Lofted away in the deep to that man. I said, oh, we did not judge that well at all. That is Mohammed Usman, who is on the boundary, and I said he was there on the big side of the boundary because at some point they were going to test the fielders, test the batters with that short delivery. It was pulled away well, but that is to the big side of the ground, and it was in the air. He did not in any way, shape, or form judge that properly. That would have been a regulation catch, and it would have gone right down his throat, but it goes away for 4. Ended up flying away over his head, and he'll not be happy about that, Mohammed Usman. Almost had a wicket with his first ball here, Awazia, so he'll be less than impressed with that effort. So boundary and then a single to start over number 5. We're down to the last 10 balls of the power play, and interestingly, now that the right-hander is on strike, they've brought in Mohammed Usman, the man who just had that drop. They brought him inside the circle and have now dropped Karan Patel, the professional baseball player and part-time cricketer, if you will, back to the boundary at long off. Still only 2 allowed outside the circle. That other man outside the circle is at deep square leg. Hammered away for 4. So, no protection out there in the deep. That is the long side of the boundary, but it does not matter. And 81, 82 yards away from the middle of the pitch, but once you get it through the infield and you're still inside the power play, neither of the 2 men who are outside would have been anywhere near that. So that is yet another boundary. So 2 4s in this match so far. Both 4s have been struck from the first 3 deliveries from Oazia's over. Next ball. Down the leg side, ooh, almost helped himself to 4 runs there. That's not the best ball that Awazia can bowl, and he might consider himself lucky that that one was not put away. It was going down the leg side, and he was not able to get any bat on that Naushad Sheikh. Fine leg is inside the circle, and so he certainly would have had that go over his head. So again, he might consider himself lucky there, Awazia. Here's the next delivery. In the air, deep, but right there, ooh, the man back there, Shreyan Satish, he can only watch it sail over his head. Got it too straight, and again, this is to the short side of the ground. So the boundary on this side is only 65 yards, as opposed to the one on the opposite side, which is 80 yards. This one going down the leg side, at that line, at that angle, it is an easy ball to get inside of, and just helping it over the top of backward square. Shreyan Satish is positioned for that exact shot, but he was not able to get anywhere near it. It goes into the seats behind him. Last ball coming up here over number 5. And a quick single taken here. So that over alone essentially allows you to double the score. 16 runs come from that over. Before this, you had 15 on the board. So big over in the context of this game. There's your quick score chart, or the scorecard. Remandar not out, 11 from 14. Naushad Sheikh, 17 from 14. And after a frenetic start, it seems as though the Dallas Xforia Giants have gotten something along the lines of what they want to have happen here. End of 5, 31 for 1. So double change in bowling. It is now going to be young Shreyan Satish who takes up the attack. This is the last ball, make that the last over of the power play. Shreyan Satish, known more as a batter, tremendous young batter. Seen him grow in stature over the years from youth cricket in Houston. Played for years in the Houston Youth Premier League. These days, Shreyan Satish is 20 years old, so you can't call him a young man anymore. And his brother in the side, Aryan Satish. This is clipped away into the deep. Should get 2 here, a long run. Again, this is to the big side of the field. Coming back for the third. It's going to be close, but they'll get there without much fuss. That is excellent running. And again, Shreyan Satish, known more as a batter. At 20 years old, you'll see him bat probably in the middle order, but has the ability to bat anywhere in the lineup. I think that you'll see that he has excelled in many ways as a youth cricketer. Of course, this is a few steps up from that level, and there's tons of batting in the lineup for the Lone Star Athletics. So he has not yet gotten a chance to play. Good to see that he's in the side today, because he's a really handy cricketer. Asked to do something different here with the ball, and this is the last over of the power play. Looking at the 2 outside the circle, long on and deep mid-wicket, actually deep square leg. So we want to keep this one just on, maybe off stump. Big wind up and a big drive that time. Remandar wants to go big, wasn't able to get to it that time. So the protection in the deep is at deep square leg, as I said, and long on. So you can't be too wide. Anything that's wide, everyone is inside the circle on the offside, and so that will present opportunities for runs. So essentially you have to be on the stumps, but you also can't be too straight, because Fine Leg, who's his brother Aryan Satish, is inside the circle. So that would certainly present an opportunity for runs. Down the ground, that's exactly what you want to do. Get it on the stumps, but nothing wide, nothing straight. Punch straight down the ground for a single. It's a good start for Shreyan Satish. 4 runs from the over so far, with 2 balls to come. Again, after this over, that will be the end of the power play. And then you have the opportunity, if you so desire, and I suspect that they will, to be much more defensive with the field settings. Because after a relatively slow start, the Dallas Xforia Giants appear to be pushing on toward a relatively aggressive total here. Hammered away, that should get to the boundary. Short and wide, and again, you cannot be too wide. This is to the right-hander in a similar field where they drop back the fielder at square leg and have the fielder long on. So you have to be straight on the stumps. Anything too wide, which is what that one was, and it is flayed away through the offside for 4. There you see the replay. Just a little bit too wide, going too wide outside off stump. Able to cash in on that loose delivery. So this will be the last ball. 8 runs come from the over so far. What you're trying to do here now, just get out of this over without much more damage. Here's the last ball. Better, much better. Play to mid-off, quick single. Oh, almost was a direct hit there. Not really a good idea to run quick singles on Nitish Kumar. Get away with it this time, but that's a good over for Shreyan Satish, with the exception of the boundary. 9 runs come from the over. 40-for-1 is your score at the end of the power play.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
We are outside of the power play now, 40 runs on the board. Shreyan Satish just bowled his over, and his younger brother Aryan Satish now has the ball in hand. He will be bowling his leg spinners from the southern end of the ground, the river end, and you're now outside of the power play, so certainly the opportunity to be much more defensive. You have a long on and a long off. In particular, you have long off in Nitish Kumar, number 21, not too far away from where we are here. And again, for me, one of the better fielders that you see anywhere in minor leagues. I've often referred to him as being in the top 5 in the minor leagues in terms of outfield skill. There's a long off, there is a deep mid wicket, and there's a sweeper on the offside, the big side of the ground. As you look at the screen right now, it's to your left. And the man out there is Karan Patel. Talked about him yesterday, the former baseball player, he's a current baseball player in the Chicago White Sox organization. Ooh, looking to run this one fine. I don't know that came off of the bat. In fact, no signal from umpire Karthik Nachimutu, so that probably did come off. Not probably, obviously did come off the bat. So a single to start here. Wanted to play the old-fashioned late cut. Don't see very many late cuts again. Look at this replay. And he's turning it. You see he's a leg spinner, so he turns it away from the righties. So not a bad option to turn that ball or to try to run that ball off the face of the bat, because you're running it off the bat with the turn. So that potentially is a very productive shot for you. Partnership growing. It's worth 39 runs, so something to pay attention to. The first wicket fell at 2, but this partnership is now growing. Ramandar played off the back foot into the covers, no run. And so the game within the game is that you've brought the leg spinner on. If he bowls to the left-hander, it will be turning into him, which left-handers would like. But he would be hitting to the big side. And that's to the big side in that direction. And it is over the head of the fielder again. I think Karan Patel would want to have been a little bit further back on the ropes, because it went over his head, but it actually landed inside the ropes. So you could probably guess that he misjudged that. As I said, the game within the game, you want him to hit towards the big side of the ground, but there, it is over his head, but it lands inside the ropes. It goes for 4. Hammered straight down the ground for 4 more. That's a much more confident stroke, using his feet to get to that one, Ramandar. And consecutive 4s, but to the credit of Aryan Satish, the first of those 4s really should have been a wicket. And I think that you will see that there is some action that is taking place. Speaking of action that is taking place, in fact, I'll wait until after this delivery to make this comment, because this is really interesting. We have listeners from all over the world. My friend Diana in Barbados wants to know, I'm watching the CPL match between the St. Lucia Kings and the Antigua and Barbuda Falcons. In watching your match, have you observed any more interest in cricket in the USA since the success at the ICC Cricket World Cup? Diana, that is a beautiful, beautiful question. I can speak for hours on the subject. I will say, as this is stroked down the ground, this is going to be 4 more. Nitish Kumar won't get anywhere near that. So that gives us a little time to talk about my response here, Diane. I think I've seen where more people have asked the question. And I generally, you know me, I'm always wearing my USA Cricket shirt. And I've noticed that more and more people, this is highly anecdotal, of course, more and more people have asked me about cricket just from wearing the shirt after the World Cup than before. And so, yes, very, very anecdotal, and that's just one man's experience. But I can say that I personally have witnessed more interest in the sport after having seen the success that the team had in the World Cup. And many people before the World Cup would have thought that, you know what, U.S. cricket is lucky that they get to be in the team just because in the World Cup just because they're part of the host nations. It was co-hosted between the West Indies and the U.S. But the U.S. did better than just host. They actually beat Pakistan in the World Cup on this ground. They lost to India, which is not surprising, but they were competitive for periods of that match where they got Kohli out cheaply, they got Rohit Sharma out cheaply. They played in Antigua against South Africa, and they were right there in that match with the opportunity to win it up until the last over. So they were far from embarrassing, and in fact I would argue that they gave a really good account for themselves. Very long answer to say that I think that there is certainly some uptick in activity and in interest in the sports, and hopefully all of that makes sense. And really thank you for your question, Diana. We'll talk soon. Let's put it that way. Anyway, end of over number 7. Didn't acknowledge when it happened, but it is now going to be over 8. And it is being bowled, the first over here being bowled by Sidesh Patari, the captain. So we've gone away from left arm pace, and we've gone to medium pace from Awazia, medium pace from Shreyan Satish, and then leg spin from Aryan Satish, and now the captain Sidesh Patari has brought himself on for some military medium, if you will. So, after this delivery, let's look at some projections. This is played into the leg side. They might get 2 here, and in fact, they will get 2 very, very easily. Good, solid cricket being played here. By the way, the 50 partnership is now up. Partnership now worth 54 runs. Make that 55 runs. This pair came together when the score was 2-1. And I think you've seen absolutely good, brilliant stuff from this pair. Rahman Dar now 22 from 21. Nurbasha Sheikh 32 also from 21. So good partnership brewing between these two. Short, hammered away, extra cover. Deep, how far does that go? It goes all the way for 6. So this was a delivery that Sidesh Patari will probably not be very happy with. It was short, it was wide, it was asking to be hit. And Nurbasha Sheikh was only too happy to cash in. Stays leg side, opens up the shoulders and goes big over the offside. The first time that ball lands is in the seats. And again, we spoke about the dimensions of this ground, the way that you're playing now. You're playing to the far easternmost pitch on the square, so the boundary in that direction is only about 65 yards. So it doesn't take much to clear the ropes out there. Oh, tried the scoop shot. In fact, it does come off very beautifully. Nobody in the same zip code as that ball, and it goes away for 4 more. Really intelligent batting. And I said a second ago how it appeared as though they were batting very slowly. At one point, they were projected to score about 84 runs. Well, as of right now, that scoring rate is up to 8.74. That projects to a score of 175. So that gives you a sense of how much this pair has changed the conversation. The opening bowlers were very, very dangerous, but it seems as though things have changed around completely here. Full toss, played down the ground, long off in position. Pretty straightforward. That is Laksh Parikh, who's on the field. Not sure who he's on the field for. He's not in the playing 11 today, Laksh Parikh. Boy, flurry of runs all of a sudden. Maybe at the end of this over. Here's a look at the partnership. 66 from 40. So much of that damage done by Nurbasha Sheikh, 43 from 24. And Rahman Dar, 22 from 21. Tremendous going by this pair. Rahman Dar opened the batting, of course, now facing up to Sidesh Patari. Stroked away into the deep. Imran Khan Jr., one-handed pickup. Good strong throw, but absolutely brilliant going here. That is the end of the over. Really good over again for the Dallas Xforia Giants. 15 came from that over. At the end of over number 8, the score is 69 for 1.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
$69 for 1. Aryan Satish, the leg spinner, will be bowling again. Should have had a wicket in this last over. It wasn't to be. Bowling now to the lefty, Remandar. In this direction, straight toward us. 4 runs. 1 bounce and it goes away for 4. So this pair is really turning the screws here. And as much success as the opening bowlers had, the bowlers who've come on afterwards have not really had much success. Look at this. He's a leg spinner, Aryan Satish. So he's playing that ball with the turn. The ball is turning into the lefty, and he's latched onto that one. Here's the next delivery. Goes off the back foot, plays what can probably be described as a late cut, goes to backward point. So the partnership now worth 72. The last 5 overs have yielded 57 runs. So you're scoring at a tremendous rate here, scoring at more than 10 runs and over. And I think that you'll see the overall run rate, bottom of your screen, 8.88. That projection is now 178. A good score on this pitch, I would think, would be about 150. 178 would be all but unattainable, I would think. Goes off the back foot, 1 bounce, just doesn't quite carry to the fielder at short third. Really, it's a deep gully is where he is. Look at this. That's what the Manhattan looks like, the over by over chart. The biggest spike on that chart. That's the over number 5 went for 16 runs. But overall, you've seen a lot more overs where you've gone well beyond how you started this match. There's the late cut again, running away down the hill, played with the turn. It's an intelligent shot. That is a Wazia. Can't prevent another couple of runs. Ooh, accurate throw, hit the stumps directly. But runs are starting to flow at essentially a torrential rate. Started off over number 1 went for 2 runs. Over 2 you had 6 runs and a wicket. Over 3 went for 4 runs, but since then just a torrent of runs. Off the back foot, solid stroke through extra cover, 4 more runs, and all of a sudden the partnership that is now growing, 11 runs from this over already. Partnership is up to 78. Look at this shot, just played it through the extra cover area. Solid strike. And to the extent that you've now, look at this, off the back foot, played it on the up. That wasn't quite there for the drive, but he played it on the up, played it late, but kept it down. And importantly, kept it to the right of Sidesh Patari, who is at extra cover. So, frenetic pace here being maintained by the Dallas Xforia Giants. 11 from the over. Here's the last ball. Wanted a single, not there. Good athletic work behind the stumps by Arikanantha, but another big over. 65 runs have come from the last 5 overs. That gives you a sense of how well they've gone so far. End of over number 8, the score is 80 for 1. Make that end of over number 9, it's 80 for 1. So, a lot of activity. They've now gone to the experience of Nitish Kumar. Doesn't bowl much these days, but he's a decent off spinner. You don't mind seeing him come in to try to limit the damage being done by this left-handed batter, Raman Dar, who's accelerated in the last several overs. But if you bring the off spinner in to offset the effectiveness of the lefty by turning it away from him, then the flip side of that coin is that you'll be turning it into the right-handed big hitter, Nurbasha Sheikh. He's now 49 from 28. What does he do here? Off the back foot. Oh my goodness, hammered. It goes away close to the boundary. He'll get his 50. The bigger concern here is how close did that come to being a catch? Absolutely got to his 50, but that was Sidesh Patare at short mid-wicket. He blasted this ball, absolutely hammered it. When we get the chance to see a replay, I think you'll see that that ball was hit probably harder than any shot in this entire inning so far. But he does get to 50, Nurbasha Sheikh, 51 from 30. Tremendous batting, 5 4s and 2 6s. This one is played away square. Should just get one. My goodness, I don't know if we'll have the chance to go back and look at that replay, but this ball was absolutely blasted. And it's Sidesh Patare short mid-wicket. Those are the kinds of catches that you do not want to see coming at you. Look at this again. On the back foot, hammers it, and just there, burst through the hands of Sidesh Patare. He was not able to get. I'll tell you what, and technically, is it a drop catch? Yes. But I will tell you, from that close, he's probably 20 yards from the bat, and he absolutely nails this. And those either stick or they don't. Athernaki, thank you very much, sir. And I'll make that correction in just a second. Hammered into the deep, that goes away for 4. Some more runs here for Naushad Sheikh. And Athernaki, who I have told before, is essentially my personal statistician. So that is hammered away for 4. You have a leg by and then a boundary to close out over number 10. Halfway through this innings, what a tremendous start for the Dallas Xforia Giants. And there's, see that replay, just down on one knee and getting it in the gap between mid-wicket and long on. Firmly struck, goes away for 4. Naushad Sheikh on the charge. 56 from 32, 6 4s and 2 6s. Raman Dar, 29 from 26 with 4 4s. That is the end of 10. Halfway through the innings, the score is 89 for 1. Oh, Isaiah back into the attack. Partnership growing. Oh, overthrow here. They'll get an extra run. So the partnership, after that double to start over number 11, is now worth 89 runs. It is absolutely a brilliant partnership. Naushad Sheikh is absolutely brilliant here. Played square, good diving stop, and they'll get a single. So, big picture, what you're looking at now, with a scoring rate of close to 9, it's up to 8.9 after that single. That projection still hovering around 178. But bearing in mind that for me, their best batter is the captain, Akarshit Gomel. You have a big hitter in Gaurav Bajaj, another big hitter in Shubham Ranjane. So with 9 wickets in hand, only another 58 balls to go, it would not be surprising if they exceed the 200-run mark. It's played down the ground. Should just be a single here. But this pair has made it look very easy. They handled a few tested deliveries from the left arm pacers earlier on. The ball is a lot older now, so even if they bring the left arm pacers back on, you don't get the sense that it would swing as much. But more to the point, as you see the scorecard there, 57 from 33. Oh, where's that gone? Big hit down the ground for a single. Made such a good sound off the bat. But as I was saying, essentially you're looking at this pair who is more and more comfortable. 5 runs from the over so far, but you're at the point now where with 9 wickets in hand, a lot of batting to come, that you'd expect seeing them much more expressive down the ground for singles. So essentially, Awazia is bowling in such a way here that allows you to just get the ball in the areas for singles, and I think you'll accept singles from this stage. Essentially, he's bowling low full tosses, and not a lot wrong with that if you're convinced that they'll hit it for singles. But you do have the opportunity here with this pair to start getting more and more expressive. It's played into the leg side. They may look for 2 here. Coming back for the second. Clean pickup, strong throw, but not in time. So aggressive running gets you another couple runs, and he even to the extent that they were bowling in such a way that limited the big shots, still able to squeeze 8 runs out of over number 11. 97 for 1 is your score. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Siddharth Patara has gone back to Imran Khan. Going to get a leg by here, and they may get 2 leg bys. Watch umpire Samir Bandekar. There's your signal. Slower delivery first ball. Appeal for leg before. Pretty sure that was bouncing comfortably over the top of the stumps. And so I said desperate times call for desperate measures because you generally like to keep your strike bowlers for the death overs. But I think Siddharth Patara has recognized the fact that you need wickets here. This goes down the leg side. No signal from umpire Samir Bandekar, so that obviously flicked something on the way through. But you need wickets from here to stem the flow of runs, or if nothing else, you certainly need to slow down the scoring rate. And Siddharth Patara is determined that it's worth it to use up overs from your strike bowlers who you'd ordinarily want to keep toward the back end to stem the flow of runs at this stage in the over or in the innings. Played away into the deep extra cover area. They'll get at least 2 here. Coming back for the second. Strong throw, but easily 2 runs was always going to be on. So Naushad Sheikh now up to 60 from 37. Remandar 35 from 30. Partnership as of right now is worth 99. So this is absolutely brilliant going from this pair. And one more single here takes you to the triple digit mark. Haven't seen very many 100-run partnerships in the minor leagues this year. Here's Imran Khan again. In the air. Where is that going to end up? It is go. He put it down. The man who you would never in 100 years think would drop a catch. Nitish Kumar puts down one of the easier catches that you'll get to him. Boy, dragging it from well outside off stump, and I thought for all money that I would have jinxed this pair. Nitish Kumar will take those catches with his eyes closed. So he'll not be happy with that, but that is a pretty straightforward chance. And again, he would in 100, give them that catch 100 times, he'll take it 99 times. Tries a scoop that is off the bat. Appeal for LBW, but immediately umpire Samir Bandekar shuts that down. You might just hear the applause around the ground. Look at this replay. He wanted to play a scoop shot. I think this comes off the Q end of the bat. Look at this. Oh yeah. First of all, it was off the Q end of the bat. Second of all, it would have missed an entirely second set of stumps. So not sure exactly why they were appealing for leg before there. My goodness, a lot of activity. Again, all of a sudden, last ball here. Played into the short extra cover area. That is the end of the over. But they continue on their merry way here, the Dallas Xforia Giants. Score is 104 after 12. And once more, if you've heard me say this before, doubling the score after 12 overs generally gets you to where you'd expect the team to end up. That would mean a score of 208. I think 200 is definitely on the cards here. That is the end of 12. We'll be right back.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
104 for 1, Dallas Xforia Giants going really, really well here. The Lone Star Athletics are definitely on the back foot. This is Minor League Cricket 2024 presented by Yash Technologies. Also presented by Amol. And the apparel partner is IRA Sportswear from the fabulous Grand Prairie Cricket Stadium in Grand Prairie, Texas. This pair, Remandar and Naushad Sheikh, came together when the score was 2 for 1. This is played down the ground. Nitish Kumar again. I don't know that I've ever seen Nitish Kumar drop a catch of any kind, and I think he'll rue the day that he dropped that one catch. So single to start over number 13. Remandar 35 from 31. Naushad Sheikh 64 from 40. Awazia is now into his third over. 2.1 overs, none for 25. Oh, inside edge onto the pad. Trickles to square leg. They'll get a single here. So a couple of deliveries into over number 13. Look at that, this replay. Could hear the inside edge onto the pad. Look at this. Winds up for the big hit. Yeah, big inside edge, and then goes onto the thigh pad. Whipped away into the deep. That's square leg right in position. Going back to that replay again if we can, because look where this ball comes off the inside edge. Sometimes off of these inside edges, the ball will miss the pad and go onto the inside of your knee. This one goes, luckily for him, and hits the top pad. Sometimes it goes a little bit further toward the, this is toward me. I'll get back to that point in a second because, lands just a second inside the rope. And they'll get another boundary. Remandar goes up to 36 make that 40 from 33. So as I was saying on that replay, sometimes that ball misses the pad and hits you on the soft inner part of your knee. And I will tell you from personal experience, there is no worse pain, especially from a pace bowler. Slammed on the ground, but straight to Nitish Kumar. One ball remaining here in over number 12. Look at this again. This is dragged in the air. Good clean strike. Not much risk in the shot, and gets it in between the two fielders in the deep. This is the larger side of the ground. So the boundary in this direction is about 68 yards. Goes big towards the shorter side of the ground, and this is going to be in the seats. So yet another 6. Now Shad Sheikh moving on now to 71 from 42 balls faced. Absolutely brilliant. Look at this delivery. Maybe into the pads a little bit. Certainly going in with that angle. It makes it easy to play that shot away on the leg side. So 6 runs there, 14 coming from over number 13. The score moves up to 118 for 1. So Shreyan Satish has bowled 1 over, conceded 9 runs in that 1 over. Coming back in now to bowl to a pair that is well and truly set in the air. This is catchable or not. Flies away over the top and goes for yet another 6. Remandar now moving into 4th gear up to 47 from 34. Shreyan Satish from around the wicket, slanting it in but not threatening the stumps and opening up scoring opportunities on the leg side. So consecutive 6s from the last ball of over 13 and now the first ball of over number 14. Partnership now worth 122. Tremendous batting from this pair. Advancing down the track and hammered away for 4 more. My goodness, this is brutal. Came down the track, tried to upset the length that Shreyan Satish is bowling, and Shreyan Satish getting this one maybe not quite as full as he'd like and opening up scoring opportunities, this time going through the offside, and it goes away for 4. So 6-6-4, and in fact the last 5 balls have been 4-1-6-6-4. So tremendous scoring here. The score is racing along. Slower delivery, that didn't go where he was looking to get it. That's actually a good piece of bowling. He took the pace off Shreyan Satish, and he had Remandar playing a second too early. By the way, Remandar is now into the 50s. Didn't acknowledge that when it came up. He's now 52 from 37 balls faced. Partnership now worth 127. And bear in mind, Naushad Sheikh at 71 from 42 essentially is playing carefree cricket. He's been doing that for a while. 71 from 42, tremendous strike rate and plenty of batting to come. This feels very ominous for the Lone Star Athletics. Slower delivery again. That's good bowling, intelligent bowling by Shreyan Satish. So the last 2 deliveries is taking the pace all the way off. The first 2 pace on went for 6 and 4. The next 2 he's taking the pace off and only a couple of singles. But still, you've already conceded 12 runs from the over, and this pair is batting with absolutely no limit to how expressive they can be. And you see there Remandar was looking over his right shoulder. He's looking toward the short side of the ground. And that's exactly where he goes, but this is catchable. And it is put down yet again, my goodness. By my unofficial count, that is drop number 3. Well, 3 in terms of the ones that could easily have been taken. There was a very difficult one to the captain himself, Sudesh Patari, who put that one down, but that was a bullet. This, for me, is very easily taken. And that's a catch that you'd want to have taken 10 times out of 10. So yet another drop. This is the last ball of over number 14. Slower delivery, good ball, going past the outside edge, has him playing about a week too early. Damage has been done. 13 came from the over. You would want to think that that catch on the 5th ball should have been taken. Wasn't taken. End of over number 14, 131 for 1.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Well, that graphic tells the story. The partnership is worth 129 from 77 balls. Naushad Sheikh has contributed 72 from 44. 53 contributed by Remandar. And I will tell you that again, this is very, very ominous. Look at this bowling card. You have 2 bowlers, 3 bowlers who have gone for less than double figures every over. The most expensive of the bowlers has been Sudesh Patari. His over went for 15. But all of the bowlers, with few exceptions, have been treated very rudely. This is Owazia coming back in. This is his last over, about to be bowled. Slam down the ground. Nitish Kumar will take this, or will field this. Owazia, by comparison, 39 from 3.1. So he's going at just under 13 runs and over. And if he, who bowled very, very well yesterday, is going for 13s, then you get the sense that the others don't have much chance. Played wide, long run for Nitish Kumar. Will he get there? And he will not get there. 4 more runs. And all of a sudden, Naushad Sheikh, 76 from 45. How far does he get here? Does he get to 100? He certainly has time to get to 100. And to the extent that you can play essentially carefree from here. Only 34 balls remaining in this innings, 9 wickets in hand. Boy, you absolutely have the chance to just go hell for leather here. That's a good ball, Yorker length, but dug out into the deep mid-wicket area, get a single. 6 from the first 3 balls here in over number 15. The scoring rate is 9.45. 9.45 projects to 189. If they ended up at 189 runs, I think they'd be very disappointed. The table is set for 210 or something better. In the deep, long run for Karan Patel, and he cannot get there. 4 more. So as I was saying, I don't think that there's anything less than 215 or so that would make them happy. Looking at that replay, it pitched outside leg, so not much risk in that shot. And it was a length that allowed you to play that cross-batted shot. So he jumped all over that one, Remandar. Up now to 58 from 40. Partnership, keep pointing out the partnership. 139. They came together, remember, when the score was 2. So they put on a monster partnership here. Very full, played back to the bowler himself. And a rare dot ball. I've not had very many dot balls in this innings so far, at least not until the first over. The first couple of overs saw a few dot balls, but since then, scoring rate has been absolutely tremendous. This is now the last ball of Owazia's spell. Played down the ground. This is going to be Nitish Kumar. Wanted 2, called for 2. That's a direct hit, and that is gone. My goodness. Well, Nitish Kumar showing why I've always said, and I've said a couple times tonight, he's one of the better outfielders that you'll see anywhere. That was a clean pickup moving to his left, and a direct throw with as a right-hander moving to his left is not easy. You might have just been able to hear the batter yell 2-2. He wanted 2 the whole way, wanted to put the pressure on. Here's Nitish Kumar, clean pickup, and a direct hit from there. Look at that. That is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. A direct hit from probably 50 yards away. And that's what you expect from Nitish Kumar. Much of the damage has already been done. That is a brilliant, brilliant piece of work by Nitish Kumar. Ramandar remains at the wicket. Big innings by Naushad Sheikh comes to an end courtesy of a direct hit. And that is excellent batting from him. And you can hear the applause for him as he goes out. In fact, it's Ramandar who's out. My apologies. Okay, the scorecard has it wrong. I thought it was Naushad Sheikh who was out. Scorecard has Ramandar as being dismissed, but he's still at the wicket. The man dismissed is Naushad Sheikh, 77 from 46. Second wicket goes down. That's the end of over number 15, and the score is 142 for 2. So last 5 overs coming up. The new batter is Shubham Ranjane, and he takes the place of the batter who was just dismissed. The scorecard says that Naushad Sheikh is still at the wicket. The man who is currently at the top of your screen, Shubham Ranjane, is on strike. And the man who is at the bottom of your screen, bottom right, is Ramandar. So the scorecard, okay, scorecard still not correct. Shubham Ranjane is about to take strike. And while they work that out, we'll have a new bowler in. It's going to be Karan Patel. Karan Patel, this is interesting to me. Karan Patel, when he plays baseball, and as said before, he's a professional baseball player. He is a fastball pitcher, and he pitches around 95 miles an hour. Obviously asked to do something very different here. So obviously when you bowl in cricket, you don't get to use your elbow the way you do in baseball. But Karan Patel is a very good holding type of bowler, and he's a quick arm action. Obviously bowling in cricket and pitching in baseball are 2 completely different skill sets. But you still see that Karan Patel is able to do both. Karan Patel, whose father, Kuldeep Patel, is the owner of the Lone Star Athletics. Somebody who personally I played against, who, I don't know, sometime back in the Reagan administration. But 2 balls from the first delivery of over number 16. So Karan Patel is the one who will be taking things from his perspective, hopefully bowling an over that doesn't go for very many runs. So after this, you have 4 more overs. 3 of those overs you would think would be bowled by Nakash Basarat and Imran Khan Jr. Played away for 4. That is just a touch too wide, and it is to the short boundary. So Shubham Ranjane cashing in on that delivery, just a little bit too wide that time from Karan Patel. Goes off the back foot. Looking at that delivery, had he left that alone, it may just have been outside of that wide guideline. As it is, it's cut away for 4. So the score is now up to 148. So I was saying, you're looking at the bowling left. 4 overs remain after this. 3 of those 4, as this is clipped away into the deep. They want 2 here. I think they'll get it easily. So 3 of the 4 overs that are left, you would think would be bowled by Imran Khan Jr., who has 1 left. Nakash Basarat, who has 2 left. So my sense would be Nakash Basarat will be bowling overs 18 and 20. Imran Khan maybe bowls over number 19. You're now in over number 16. So who bowls 17 would be the question. Very full. They call for 2 again, and they'll come back for the second one. Clean pickup, throw to the keeper's end, but yet another 2 runs. This is aggressive running, and at this stage you have nothing to lose by coming back for these doubles. 10 runs from the over already. Plenty of batting in store, so you can take chances. For me, this batting pair is intelligent enough to think, all right, we have strike bowlers coming in to bowl overs 18, 19, and 20. Do we target the bowler who comes in to bowl over number 17? In terms of options for over number 17, Aryan Satish has 2 left. I don't know that you go to a leg spinner here at this stage of the innings. Shreyan Satish also has 2 left. Maybe you go to Shreyan Satish, but whoever you go to, you can probably guess that this pair will want to attack them. So that's the story within the story. We'll see how that develops the rest of the way here. Played away into the offside. Straight to Shreyan Satish, the man whose name we just called. Couple of dot balls here. Good close to the over from Karan Patel. That is the end of 16. Score is 152 for 2. Well, Nakash Basarat is the man who has been asked to bowl here. I was guessing that he would bowl overs 18 and 20. Well, they've gone to him an over early, so maybe he bowls 17. Well, not maybe. He's going to bowl 17 and 19. Bowling over number 17 here. Of course, you can't bowl 2 consecutive overs. So, and he has 2 overs left. His 2 overs have only cost 6 runs, so he's obviously playing a different match from the one that the others are. Nakash Basarat made the ball talk when he bowled earlier, but this is a ball that was a couple of deliveries old. This ball is now 16 overs old, and so I think you will see that he's going to, from his perspective, try to keep the runs down. Tries the scoop shot, goes away for wide, signaled as wide. Nakash Basarat is not happy. There's a double teapot, but he's not sure who he's appealing to. Let's see whether or not he has a reason to be upset here. Look at this delivery. Oh, I'll tell you what, the batter moved across by about a foot, so he may have a legitimate complaint there, Nakash Basarat, because when the batter moves across, the wide line is assumed to have moved with him. So he might feel a little bit hard done by there. Oh, a wide ball, so still 6 balls to come here in over number 17. Played away into the deep. There's a man out there that is Aryan Satish. Clean pickup. And I'll tell you what, single here from the first ball. And going back to that wide ball, just to explain what happened there, I think the batter, when he moves across, in other words, when he takes a step toward the offside, from the umpire's perspective, the wide line is assumed to have moved across with him. I don't know if we can get another look at that after this delivery, but that's something to pay attention to, just as a means of understanding the rule. Whipped away into the deep, should just be a single there, just Shreyan Satish with a good strong throw. So if we have time to look at that replay again, that first delivery where went past the outside edge, but in going past the outside edge, Remandar appeared to have moved across to the offside. Maybe we won't have time to get a chance to look at that. Maybe after this ball we'll get a chance to look at that again, but I think we do understand why there was some concern expressed there by Nakash Basarat. Good delivery, very full and straight, played down the ground. So the big shots have disappeared for the time being with the number 1 bowler back into the attack. Of of course, what you're doing is that you're using up his overs here, and it also means that maybe Imran Khan comes in, bowls the next over, but at some point you're going to have to go to a bowler who is not Imran Khan or Nakash Basarat, and I get the sense that they will target whoever that bowler is. Here is the fourth ball coming up here in over number 17. Slammed away for 4. So got it a little too wide, crushed it square, and it goes away for a boundary. So Nakash Basarat getting that one just a little too wide, and it's cut away. Speaking of wides, here's that first ball. Watch the batter. He's batting on middle stump, but right there, moves right across. He's across by probably 1.5 feet, and that ball passes maybe 6 inches outside the wide line. So in theory, the wide line would have been expected or assumed to have moved across with him as he moves across to the right side of your screen. So you can make the argument that that should not have been a wide. Hammered away, my goodness. A very aggressive shot play that time by Shubham Ranjane. That had all the energy that he could muster, and he's a strong man, and that made such a clean sound off the bat. Look at that, pulling it from outside off. He could easily have cut that away, but it was short, and he could have either cut it or pulled it. He chose to pull it, and the first 2 overs from Nakash Basarat went for 6. Here he's gone for 12 from 5. Here's the last ball, clipped away into the deep. They'll just settle for 1 here, but you bring your big horse back, and he goes for 13. So if he's going for 13s, you wonder what chance the others have. End of over number 17. Last 3 coming up. 165 for 2.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
$165 for 2. Remandar 61 from 44. Shubham Ranjane 20 from 10. And you're down to the last 3 overs, the first of which will be bowled by Imran Khan Jr., who is bowling his last over. Played to backward point, Shreyas Satish. Right there, you might have just heard the big groan by the batter himself, who thinks he should have done better with that. And I'll tell you what, get that ball to either the left or the right of Shreyas Satish, and that goes away for 4. So he might consider himself lucky there, Imran Khan Jr. Last 17 balls of the innings. Slower delivery, hammered away, but that is clean pickup in the deep, Awazia. So that is to the big side of the ground. There's protection out there. So a couple of good deliveries here from Imran Khan. The first is a dot, the second is a single. Down to the last 16 balls, but again, this is his last over, Imran Khan Jr. Nakash Basarat, you would assume, would bowl over number 19. So then the question, or either 19 or 20, but one of the next 2 overs will be bowled by somebody who probably it will be easier to score off of than either of these 2 opening fast bowlers. Next delivery. Half-hearted appeal for leg before. They'll go through for a leg by here. And in fact, no signal from umpire Samir Bandekar. So that was probably an inside edge onto the pads. So very, very good over underway here for Imran Khan Jr. So 3 balls bowled, 3 delivers bowled, and just 2 runs from over number 18. In the context of this game, that is excellent. Low full toss, nothing wrong with the low full toss under these circumstances. Coming back for the second, strong throw. A direct hit there would have been interesting, but he does well enough for Mandar to get back, regain his ground at the non-striker's end. So here we go. You want to make sure that Shubham Ranjana keeps batting. He's the man who has done the most damage so far in terms of his strike rate. And he's the one, I think, who's most likely to clear the ropes. Here's the next delivery. That is a good ball. Very full. Cannot get underneath it. If you allow Shubham Ranjana to get underneath that ball, he will clear the ropes with ease. But this is a really good ball. Down to the last ball here. In over number 18, you've only conceded 4 runs. This is excellent going for Imran Khan Jr. And again, you'd expect for the next over, either the next over or over 20 to be bowled by Nakash Basarat. Here's the last ball. Good bowling again. Very full. Yorker length, played down the ground for a single. 5 runs from over number 18. Again, the overall run rate is 9.4. So from that standpoint, you've done really well to pull things back here in the last couple of overs. And that is the end of over number 18. The score is 170 for 2.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
So Nakash Basarat will be bowling over number 19. Whipped away into the deep. There's a man down there. It's in the gap, but good diving stop by Nitish Kumar. They'll get a couple of runs, but he saves 2 runs there. What you expect to see from Nitish Kumar in the outfield is athleticism, and you saw that direct hit earlier on, so you know he's a brilliant fielder. Down to the last 11 balls of the innings, Nakash Basarat's 3 overs and 1 ball so far have gone for 21 runs, but bearing in mind his first 2 overs went for 6 runs. So it's been a little bit more expensive upon his reintroduction to the attack. Bowling now to Shubham Ranjana. Looks for the big swipe. Misses out here. Ooh, gone. Big edge and given. Missed that live. The raised finger here by umpire Karthik Nachamutu, and the Shubham Ranjana is less than impressed with the decision. Let's see if we can pick anything up here. Big slash and a miss. And I'll tell you what, very muted appeal from Arya Kananta, the keeper. And Nakash Basarat appeals, but he appeals for everything generally. So, but he clearly heard something there, Karthik Nachamutu, and he immediately raises the finger. So he heard enough to be convinced that this was a dismissal. So that is wicket number 3 that goes down. 172 for 3 is your score. So Shubham Ranjana is dismissed from the 3rd ball, make that the 2nd ball of over number 19. So give credit where credit is due. The Lone Star Athletics bowlers have actually fought back here. They were on track, the Dallas Xforia Giants, for a score of north of 200 for a while. And I'll tell you that they've pulled things back tremendously. So that partnership worth 30. Here's the new batter, Chetene Bishnoi. Played off the back foot. They'll go through for a single. And he'll hold on to that ball there, Shreyan Satish. So good over underway. Over number 18 went for 5 runs, which in the context of this game is brilliant. And 3 deliveries into over number 19. You've already had only 3 runs and a wicket. So 2 lefties at the crease now, Remandar and Chetene Bishnoi. This is Remandar on strike, 62 from 45. Different context from which these two faced off earlier in the match. Tries the scoop. Does not work. And you know why he's playing that scoop shot. Deep or short third inside the circle, fine leg inside the circle. So if you get the ball behind you, you certainly have the opportunity to score runs. But if you miss, then you're missing out on opportunities to get runs at the back end of the innings. With 8 balls left in this innings, you certainly want to put bat to ball. You don't want to have any situation happen where it was you did not have the opportunity to score. So ball 5 here, inside edge onto the pad. I think big loud edge, but I think you hear the edge from here. Certainly not giving a loud appeal, a raucous appeal. But Nakash Basarat bowling this over essentially like he did the first 2 overs. Over 3 was not out. Okay, big. Not only was that a big inside edge, that is missing all 3 stumps. Here is the last ball of over number 19. Hammered away into the deep, but catchable. And put down. Oh my goodness, yet another drop. I believe that is Laksh Parikh in substituting for somebody. Not sure who it was who was off the field, but I think Laksh will tell you that that's a catch that he should have taken. So a single off the last ball, and that is the end of over number 19. 4 runs coming from the over. Brilliant over. And it should have ended in a wicket. Here's a catch, very well judged by Laksh Parikh, but just didn't hold on to it. And that is the end of 19. And the score is 174 for 3. So Karan Patel is the answer to the question of who's going to bowl the extra over. So the strike bowlers are all done, but Karan Patel is being tasked with bowling over number 20. Conceded 10 runs in the 1 over that he's bowled so far. I think that you will see that he's just going to try to keep it full and straight. Full and straight indeed. This is dragged down wide off long on. You know they'll come. Oh, they wanted 2. But change their minds at the last second. You'll take singles at this stage every time that you get them. Because taking a look at this leg before we could appeal again. Swinging down leg. No question that this is missing. And I think just when we heard it live or watched it live, certainly was an inside edge. So, not a lot going for that appeal. But back to live action. Last 5 balls coming up here. Chetene Bishnoi has faced 1 ball and he scored 1 run. But he'll be hitting to the big side. My sense is that he'll be looking to elevate this ball. Oh, appeal for leg before. He'll get a single. And that's, in fact, it's a leg by. So, excellent bowling here from Karan Patel. Look at this shot again. Oh yeah, that is missing all 3 stumps. It is going on to hit maybe the 5th stump. And if you only have 3, then that tells you that this is missing everything. Leg by signal, so it didn't come off the bat. But look at this really good bowling underway here for the Lone Star Athletics. They've pulled things all the way back. 176 is the score now. Outside edge and gone. Carried all the way down to short third. That is the man right at short third, Nakash Basarat, who has combined with a good ball from Karan Patel to get yet another wicket. So all of a sudden, the brakes are well and truly on for the Dallas Xforia Giants. This ball is outside the line of off stump. He threw the bat at it, which you'd expect for Ramandar. Played a good innings, 64 from 50. But it does mean that the batting prowess that the Xforia Giants had been showing, which really was on target for a big score. I thought for a while 200, well above 200 was on the cards, but things have slowed down all the way down. So give credit where credit is due. Lone Star Athletics have fought back into this game. 176 is still a tremendous chase, no question. But if you get to the point now where you can get something around I don't know, you might consider yourself lucky if you get to chase 175 or 176 versus 210, 220, and they were on target for that big of a score for a while. This is now the captain, Akarshik Gomel, who's in with 3 balls left. Worked away into the deep, a couple runs here at least, you would think. Yeah, they're coming jogging through for that second. In fact, he had to put the motor on there for a second. Thought he'd get it a little bit more easily than he did, but where you are now, score of 172 is where the wicket fell, and so that puts you in the position now where you only have 2 balls remaining. Akarshik Gomel, I said a couple of times, I think he's the best batter in the side, but not a lot you can do with just 2 balls remaining. Stroked into the covers, pretty simple here. They'll just settle for 1. What a comeback. Absolutely brilliant comeback here. The last 5 overs have only gone for 37 runs, and they were scoring at the rate of almost 10 and over for a very long time. Over number 18 went for 5. Over number 19 went for 4 and a wicket. And over number 20 so far, a wicket and only 4 runs, with this being the last ball. So brilliant bowling by the Lone Star Athletics in the last few overs. Here's Karan Patel with the last ball of the innings. In the air, that's going to go for 6. Very fine, and it gets it all the way back over fine leg. So the close of the flourish. 11 runs come from that over. I think you'll find this line was just a little bit too straight. Yeah, you'll want that ball to be more outside the line of off stump. And Chaitanya Bishnoi latches onto it, and he manages to get this one away. So they close here with a flourish in terms of the last ball. But full credit to the Lone Star Athletics, who pulled things back all the way from what appeared to be a potentially disastrous day with the ball. Here's a full scorecard. Batting dominated by the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th batters there. Ramandar, Nashad Sheikh, and Shubham Ranjane. That big partnership of 140 between Ramandar and Nashad Sheikh, I think, emphasizes how good the batting conditions were. For the bowlers, I think they will all seem like they got a little bit of stick. Nakash Basarat did well to come back. His economy rate ended up being just under a run a ball, 4 overs, 1 for 23. Imran Khan Jr. was the best of the bowlers, 4 overs, 1 for 19. The others are all very expensive. Awazia went for 12s. Shreyan Satish went for 11s. Aryan Satish went for 13s, and 1 over bowled by Captain Siddhesh Patar went for 15. Karan Patel, 2 overs, 1 for 20, so he was a bright spot at the end, at least until that last ball. But pretty devastating knock overall. I think par score, I said earlier, would have been around 150. So you end up around 185. You'll be happy for that. But I think they probably squandered a bit of an opportunity, because for a while there, they were on target to get above 200. But either way, 186 is a really tough chase. And bearing in mind that the Lone Star Athletics are missing much of their talent, because several of their players, their regular captain Smith Patel, Milind Kumar, and Shayan Jahangir are all on national duty in Namibia. So they will have a hard time chasing this down. But you still have people who can put runs on the board. Nitish Kumar in particular, I'll be looking to see how well he can do. But 15-minute or so break for us right here in the Grand Prairie Cricket Stadium. We'll be back for the chase. Righty away from the lefty. Oh my goodness. Top of middle, and that is the first wicket. Arjun Mahesh gets one to sneak between bat and pad, and the top of a relatively aggressive total here. Hammered away, that should get to the boundary. Short and wide, and again, you cannot reach to clear the ropes out there. Oh, tried the scoop shot. In fact, it does come off very beautifully. Nobody in the same zip code as that ball, and it goes Ramandar in this direction, straight toward us. 4 runs off the back foot, solid stroke through extra cover. 4 more runs. A bit further toward the, this is toward me. I'll get back to that point in a second, because lands just a second inside the rope. 68 yards. Goes big towards the shorter side of the ground, and this is going to be in the seats. So yet another 6. A pair that is well and truly set in the air. This is catchable or not. Flies away over the top and goes for yet another 6. Advancing down the track and hammered away for 4 more. My goodness, this is brutal. Ground, and that's exactly where he goes, but this is catchable, and it is put down. Don't have much chance. Played wide, long run for Nitish Kumar. Will he get there? And he will not get there. 4 more runs set for 210 or something better. In the deep, long run for Karan Patel, and he cannot get there. 4 more. This is now the last ball of OSD spell. Played down the ground. This is going to be Nitish Kumar. Wanted 2, called for 2. That's a direct hit, and that is gone. Played away for 4. That is just a touch too wide, and it is to the short over number 17. Slammed away for 4. So got it a little too wide, crushed it square. You can make the argument that that should not have been a wide. Hammered away, my goodness. A very aggressive shot play that time by Shubha. Hammered away into the deep, but catchable. And put down. This is the score now. Outside edge and gone. Here's Karan Patel with the last ball of the innings. In the air, that's going to go for 6. Very fine, and it gets it all the way.
You're watching the 2024 Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Yash Technologies.
Welcome back to Grand Prairie. The Lone Star Athletics will be chasing 185, which is not an easy chase. Make that 186. They'll be chasing 186, and I'll tell you that that is not necessarily the easiest of chases, and it is made more difficult by the fact that you're missing a lot of batting. But you do have people who still have bats in their hands, and it's going to be up to them to see whether or not they can shepherd a chase that is, in theory, going to be relatively difficult. But YZ is very good. Facing up here to Patwal. First delivery stroked to mid-off, no run there. So Sarah Patwal is the opening bowler coming from the river end, the southern end of the ground here in Grand Prairie. Sarah Patwal, right arm fast bowler, bowling around the wicket. And you saw the new ball earlier swing a lot for the left-handed fast bowlers. First delivery here from Sarah Patwal didn't look like it swung that much. Almost an instant replay, played into the short extra cover area. So a couple of dots to start here. The required rate from here is 9.46. Essentially, you need to score 9 runs and over, 9.5 runs and over for 20 overs to be able to win this match. That's not easy, but it's certainly doable. The way that you do it, though, is that you have to get off to a fast start inside the power play. Played into the leg side. Should be just 1. They may look for 2 here, though. Well, the younger man, Arikanantha, wanted to go for that second run, but Awazia, who is about half the age of Arikanantha, decides against it. Awazia is 38 years old. Arikanantha is 19. He is exactly half his age. And so let's just say it's easier for the younger man to sprint through for that second run than the more grizzled veteran. But first run on the board, 3 deliveries into over number 1. But you are going to be looking at a pretty stiff chase here. Arikanantha, who didn't trouble the scorers last night, but is a very good young prospect. Sar Patwal looking to move the ball away from Arikanantha, which is where you see that slip fielder top of your screen. Top left of your screen, that is Akarshik Gomel, the captain himself, who is at first slip. 2 delivers remaining here in what has been a really good over so far. Your objective just now is just to limit the runs and keep things from getting out of control. And from that standpoint, you're doing very well here, Sarah Patwal. This goes by, passing by the outside, the line of off stump. So he allows this one to go through Arikanantha. I think he might have thought that this was going to be wide, but not given as wide. So essentially, you've allowed 2 balls to go through without having the opportunity to score off of them. And that puts you in a position where you're going to now need to have something productive come off this last ball. 1 run from the over so far, and you have a very steep mountain to climb. Plays this away square, but there's a fielder in the deep. Chetene Bishnoi it is who gets that one, a single to close things out in over number 1. A really good first over, bowled by Sarah Patwal. And if 1, the score is 2 without loss.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
One over in the books. The man who faced the last 3 deliveries in over number 1 will also be facing the first delivery here in over number 2, Arikanantha. 1 from 3. And that over will be bowled by Nurbasha Sheikh. Saw him bowl yesterday, bowled brilliantly. Bowls in swing to the right-hander. So let's see if there's any movement here early. This is going to be a wide ball, signaled wide by umpire Samir Bandekar. So Nurbasha Sheikh essentially has done well enough yesterday. We'll go over his figures in a second to see what he did yesterday, but I thought that he looked very good with the ball. And in particular here, his profile suggests that he'll be moving the ball into Arcanante. That's well played. Quick single taken. But singles essentially don't hurt you at this stage. For the Lone Star Athletics to threaten in this game, you're going to have to cash in on scoring opportunities inside the power play. So the power play, the first 6 overs, the first 36 legal deliveries, so you're down now to 4 overs and 5 balls remaining from the power play. 2 fielders outside the deep are deep third and deep fine leg. Wrapped on the pad, not much of an appeal, more a yelp than anything else, but importantly it's a dot. So you've gotten to the point now where inside the power play, the 2 fielders in the deep, that suggests they're behind the wicket. In other words, they're behind square on both the off and leg sides. So that tells you that you need to be bowling a shorter than normal length. Anything that is too full can be driven down the ground. Anything that is too wide, you can get run square of the wicket. And that is too full, absolutely too full, going over the top, and it lands far enough away for 6. Awazia is a great cricketer. And just as I mentioned, those deliveries with this field, you have to be bowling a shorter length than this. Look at this. It is in the slot, absolutely in the slot, and drilled away over the top for 6. So this field is fine, but the length that you have to bowl with this field is one that asks the batter to play on the back foot, which is what I think you'll see make the adjustment here. That's a better length. Trapped on the crease, they'll go through for a single. Let's see, the umpire Samir Bandekar here signals leg by, so that is a better length to bowl given this field. 3 deliveries remaining, make that 2 deliveries remaining here in over number 2. Look at this replay again. Oh, not able to see it. Okay, we might get to see it in just a second. I think that shout would have been pitching outside the line of leg stump. I don't want to look at that again, but here is Nobash Sheikh again. Big hit down the ground. That is a lovely shot by Aric Ananta. Oh my goodness, that came off the bat sweetly. And the ball is swinging into him. Look at the strike. Angled in from over the wicket, but he strokes it beautifully. Holds the pose no less. And unfortunately, we might have a slight delay here because that ball is actually out of the stadium. Aric Ananta, 19 years old. I will tell you, Sudhir Kananta in Houston is probably very happy watching that. Years and years of tutelage have finally come off for his son. So I'll tell you, you do not have very much room to be complacent. And as I said, you have to make hay while the sun shines. You have to attempt to take advantage of the power play overs. And the way that you do that is that you absolutely have to cash in while there are only 2 fielders allowed outside the circle. You have to be very strategic with how you bowl, though, because if you're bowling a fuller length, then you can put the fielders in the back or back deep. But everybody outside is not exactly in the position where you'd want those balls to go. This is played down to mid-off. They'll get a single. Didn't play that one cleanly, but it is a very productive over. 9 for Aric Ananta, 7 for Awazia. And at the end of 2, the score is 18 without loss.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Patwal, good first over. Quick leg by being taken here. And that's good awareness by Awazia. Wrapped on the pad. immediate appeal for LBW. Don't think this is anywhere close to being out. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, going down the leg side. And Oizia immediately noticing that there was a chance there for a leg bye. So a couple of leg byes already in this innings. And you're now down to the last 107 balls. You need 167 runs. So you're needing to score at the rate of 9.36 and over. So a very steep hill to climb. But as they say, the longest journey begins with one step. Oizia now facing up to Patwal. Right in this direction toward us. Shubham Ranjan is after it. Will he get there? Yes, he will get there. So off the bat, I thought that was struck more firmly than it ended up being. Get a couple of runs here, but luckily, at least from the standpoint of the Dallas Xforia Giants, it doesn't go away for 4. And now Patwal looking to make sure that he bowls to his field. What I mean by that, there's 2 outside the circle. We talked about that before. Deep fine leg and deep backward square leg. So that suggests that he's going to be bowling into the body of Oizia and asking him to hit on the leg side. That does not go where he wants it to, but he gets away with it. It was nailed, but directly to extra cover. I believe that's Akarshit Gomel, the captain himself, at extra cover. With this field, you're wanting for Oizia to hit onto the leg side. And watch that man at deep backward square leg, because he is standing in from the ropes about 10 yards, but that's the 80-yard boundary. So you have room for error if he hits it in that direction. This one now goes through the offside again. Again, with this field, you cannot afford to be wide. And it goes wide. The first one was hit directly to the field at extra cover. This one evades that fielder and it goes away for 4. So look at this again. It's actually low full toss. Wide, very wide. Even though it's swinging in, it's still well outside the line of off stump. So 7 runs from the over already with another couple of balls to come. Here's the next delivery. Edged and gone. I heard the edge from here. So that is big. The first wicket falls. Oizia, who is looking to play that through the offside. And that ball finds the outside edge. Huge edge, and Arjun Mahesh is not going to drop those. First wicket goes. That is the big wicket of Oizia, caught behind off of the bowling of Saurabh Patwal, and the Lone Star Athletics are 25 for 1. So 25 for 1. Look at this replay again. This is closer to his body. So the last couple were very wide, and one was drilled straight to extra cover. The other one was hit wide of extra cover for 4. But this next delivery is probably on a 4th stump line. So that's more the line that you want to bowl, given the field that you have set. Oizia trying to go through the offside again, and unfortunately for him, finds the outside edge. So this, for me, is the partnership that needs to click. Arikanantha has gotten a start, 9 from 7, but the big bat, so to speak, of Nitish Kumar is now at the wicket. Nitish Kumar, you need for him to stay there for you to have any chance of running down this total. International player, again, played for the U.S. and will be leaving the team in a couple of weeks to play for the U.S. in Namibia. Appeal for a catch and gone! Oh my goodness! 2 and 2, and that is the end of Nitish Kumar. What an absolutely brilliant over here that ends with 2 wickets and 2 balls, the second of which sees the back of the best batter in the lineup. Nitish Kumar has 1 ball, sticks around for that 1 ball, and he is dismissed from that 1 ball. My goodness. I want to see a replay on this again, but it goes through, tickles the outside edge. Nitish Kumar, I think, knows that he edged that, and a huge appeal. I didn't see any reason for that to not be given out, and Nitish Kumar having to make the long walk back to the pavilion. We'll see the replay here shortly. Here it comes. Nibbling at this one, and look at Captain Chaitanya Bishnoi at first. I'm sorry, Captain Akashit Gomel at first slip celebrate because he knows that that came off the edge. 2 wickets and 2 balls. That is the end of over number 3. All of a sudden, the Lone Star Athletics are in shambles. 25 for 2. So 25 for 2. Mohammad Usman is your new batter. Arakanantha, 9 from 7. And Sar Patwal, when he starts the next over, he will be on a hat trick. So that's something to pay attention to. In the meantime, the new bowler from the theater end is going to be Sankirth Batula. And all of a sudden, this match has changed about as much as you can swing a match in 2 deliveries. Looking to attack, Arakanantha wants to take on the big fast bowler, advancing down the track, missing the big hit. But I'll tell you what, it is sort of the part of the match where you start thinking, if we're going to win this, we're going to need one of the top 4 to be essentially the star. And he's the only one left in the top 4 now. Going by the outside edge here. Big grunt from Sankirth Batula. Here's your bowling that you've seen so far. Sankirth Batula, the 4th bowler, make that the 3rd bowler being used. 2 from Saurabh Patwal. The first over was only cost him 2 runs. The second over conceded 6 runs, but he took 2 wickets, 2 big wickets from the last 2 balls off that over. Here we go again. Great delivery. So gone past the young man here. 3 consecutive deliveries. Sankirth Batula. Arakanantha 9 from 10 now. So all of a sudden, the scoring rate, which had been certainly not up to par with regard to what you're trying to accomplish, but it was clicking along for a while there. Had a couple of 6s, but all of a sudden, things have come crashing down to the earth. This is down the leg side, and that's a good take from keeper Arjun Mahesh. That's the first time that you've seen umpire Samir Bandekar indicate wides. So the plan to win matches in this match would include batting deep by 1 person in the top order, and the only person who's left in that top order is Arakanantha. It would also mean cashing in on the power play overs. Down the leg side again, another wide. So you're running out of overs here. Essentially, you have 2 overs and 3 balls left inside the power play. And then after that, of course, if the Lone Star Athletics have the benefit of having the Dallas Xforia Giants be a little bit more kind, or a little bit more, let's call it, aggressive, they can keep men inside the circle, but you do have the option of going with as many as 5 outside the circle if you choose to. Quick single here. Good delivery. So 3 runs from over number 4. As comparison, the start that is being evidenced here by the Lone Star Athletics, you've gotten off to the start that you wanted to before the last 2 wickets, at least the 2 wickets that fell in the 3rd over. You actually have much more, or many more runs now than the Dallas Xforia Giants did at their equivalent stage in their innings. And we'll compare those 2 numbers at the end of this over. 2 balls remaining here in over number 4. 3 runs already. This is now the first ball to Mohammad Usman. Appeal for a leg before. Not given. And I love how umpire Samir Bandekar does that. He simply says, not out, and then holds both palms up as if to say, that's enough. I've heard enough noise. Go back to your mark. So 1 ball remaining here in over number 4. 28 runs on the board, but runs essentially have dried up tremendously. I think that you'll see where you are now that it's going to be up to you as a batting side to see how you can manufacture something from these bowlers. Last ball. In the air, catchable, long run, and he put it down. That was a very difficult chance by Chaitanya Bishnoi. He had a long run and dove full stretch, almost pulled off a spectacular catch, but it falls just short. We might be able to take a look here. Top edge, flying down to deep third, and here comes Chaitanya Bishnoi. Can't quite see it on that shot, but he did really have a tremendous effort to try to get to it. Ended up just, let's see if we can see it here again. Top edge, definite top edge. And it flies down into the deep, and they get through for a couple of runs. Anyway, doesn't look like we have that last shot, but in any event, a good over bowled by Sankirth Batula. Found the outside edge on that occasion, not able to get a wicket. But, in fact, they only took one run off that last ball. Okay, so single puts you at 29. 29 is your score after 4 overs. Now, I started saying the comparison between both of these teams after 4 overs. After 4 overs, Dallas Xforia Giants had 15 runs. 15 runs. And here's the replay now. There's the top edge. And look at the bottom left of your screen. Here comes Chaitanya Bishnoi diving, not quite able to get to it. He made a valiant effort, made about maybe 25 or so yards toward the stumps or toward his right, but not able to get anything on that. Dot ball to start over number 5, by the way, as this is going to be Patwal, and that was the hat-trick ball, successfully negotiated by Mohamed Usman. Played into the offside, no run. So Sar Patwal bowling 3 on the trot to start out here. Over number 5 is a couple of deliveries old, and I think you've gotten to the point now where you start looking at how quickly the required rate is going to shoot upward. It is now north of 10, 10.02. You see it at the bottom of your screen there, just to the left of the red graphic. So that required rate, essentially you need to score 10 runs off of every over. You can do that math and see it's going to be pretty tricky. If you've only scored 29 in 4 overs and 2 balls, it means that you're scoring 6.69 and over. You need to accelerate that scoring rate by more than 3 runs and over, and that is not easy to do when you've lost a couple of wickets. Slammed away to mid-off. He'll get a single, but he does well enough to cut that one off. So 3 runs saved there. Fast outfield. That ball would have gone all the way to the boundary. But last 3 coming up here. Big picture, you're looking at another 93 balls in which to score 156 runs. Really not going to be very easy. I reckon Anta, how much of it rests on his shoulders? 10 from 11. Oh, not much of it remains for him. Looking to be aggressive. You don't mind him being aggressive because you know that somebody has to bat all the way through. Somebody has to take the bull by the horns. But it came down the wicket, looking to go big down the ground. And good bowling by Patwal, just hitting the stumps directly. Coming down and looking to move that off the seam. It actually moved off the seam. It started out on an off-stump line, moved back in and took middle. So that's good bowling. That is the 3rd wicket that goes under the column for Sarab Patwal. And all of a sudden, it's looking like we may have a short afternoon here at the Grand Prairie Cricket Stadium. That's the end of Arakananta. Mohamed Usman, 2 from 5. And the new batter coming to the crease now, while the Lone Star Athletics are reeling at 30 for 3. Well, that replay told the story. Came dancing in or down the track, not able to get anything on it, and that ball moving in beautifully off the seam. So Sarab Patwal doing well here into his 3rd over. 2.4 overs, 3 for 9. Excellent bowling. And the young man we talked about earlier, Shreyan Satish, the older of the two Satish brothers in the lineup. Shreyan Satish is more of a pure batter. Aryan Satish is the leg spinning all-rounder, but from here, Shreyan Satish is going to have to bat out of his skin to save his team here. Here's the first delivery to him. Oh, not quite first delivery to him. Shreyan Satish, 19 years old, from the Houston area. Seeing his progress for the last several years, coming up through the youth program, and very proud of what this young man has done with his career so far. Played away fine, gets off the mark immediately, down to fine leg for a single. Always good to get something on your name or by your name besides a zero. But big picture, you're looking at the case now where Mohamed Usman, who's only been there for 5 deliveries and has only scored 2 runs, might be the one who's tasked with accelerating here, and you're down to the last 7 deliveries of the power play. And so a long way to go here, but I think that you'll see where the Dallas Xforia Giants will feel very comfortable with where they are now. Played down the ground, a quick single taken, didn't quite hit it cleanly, but does well enough to get a single. 3 runs come from over number 5 and a wicket taken. Excellent opening burst here by Saurabh Patwal. End of 5, the score is 32 for 3. Sanketh Batula into the attack. First ball is struck down the ground for 4, back over his head. So no fast bowler, really no bowler likes being hit back over his head, but certainly not a fast bowler. So Sanketh Batula, I think, will realize that he got that one just a touch too full. Struck back down the ground. Mohamed Usman, 7 from 7. And started saying at the end of the last over, maybe he's the one who needs to take the bull by the horns. Quick look at that replay. That ball struck down the ground, a couple of bounces, and I suspect that you'll see this next delivery that's shorter in length. Nope, not shorter in length, going the same direction, gets it a little wider this time, and gets 4 more. So you're still inside the power play. Last 4 deliveries coming up in the power play, but again, if the 2 men outside the circle are behind square on both the off and leg side, it means that you have to bowl a shorter length. And even though that time you saw Mohamed Usman advance down the track, but for me that still is a length that is just a little too full. Have to pull the length back just a little. That's a better length. And it's played into the backward point area, so they'll get a couple of, in fact, they'll just get a single here. Fast start, relatively, but I think that you'll see from here that you have a lot of work to do. Even though you've gotten 9 runs from the first 3, it is going to be incumbent on this pair particularly to make sure that they find out how to keep scoring. His next delivery, outside edge, and it's going to go wide of backward point down to deep third for a single. So down to the last 2 balls of the power play now. And to the extent that your work becomes harder, becomes more difficult when the power play is finished, because it does mean that you have to find more innovative ways of scoring. If you have the ability for the opposition or the team that's in the field to put more fielders on the boundary, makes it more difficult to score. Now, you could just bowl full and straight and knock back middle stump. There's always that option. Sankirth Batula with that fourth wicket that goes down because he gets this one right in the block hole. Look at this. Oh, that angle created left. He sends off Mohamed Usman. Mohamed Usman will probably not be happy with that send-off, as you see there on the replay. I think Sankirth Batula was more upset with himself than anything else. That's why that send-off came out. But you have one ball remaining now in the power play, and all of a sudden, 4 wickets inside the power play is not the formula to be able to win a match where you're chasing 186 runs. So that's 4th wicket partnership only worth 12 runs. And it is now the case that you've gotten through the top order. And all of a sudden, here we see this replay again. Boy, not really getting anywhere near in line. If we could see that send-off again, I will say for the record, I do not like send-offs. I think as a bowler, you've done your job and you've gotten the wicket, so you can go celebrate with your teammates. But it's an interesting part of the game to see the send-off, and you'll see it here in a second. There, and if you don't mind, the facilities in the dressing room are directly to your left. So, again, for the record, that's not something that I am a big fan of, but if you are a bowler and you take a wicket, I guess you have the opportunity to celebrate. Last ball. This is going to be Rembrandt, who is at the wicket. Shreyan Satish is at the non-strikers end, 2 from 2. And it is now going to be Shatrughn and Rembrandt. Last ball. Oh, lifting delivery, and they'll get a single here. Wasn't expecting for Shreyan Satish to come running for that single, but that's good awareness by the young man. Saw the opportunity to pinch a run. 10 runs come from the over, but it finishes much, much better than the way it started. In fact, 11 runs come from the over. Finishes much better than it started for Sankirth Batula. At the end of the power play, the score is 4-3 for 4. Well, this question is an interesting one that requires some explanation. 4-3 for 4 after the power play. And the new bowler coming from the river end is going to be Shubham Ranjane. The question comes courtesy of the media director for the city of Prairie View, Miss Tamara Poole, who wants to know, and I need to give this question the room that it deserves. Why are the boundaries not equidistant? Is that to be expected for every pitch? That is really an excellent question, and let's talk about that for a second. Looking at the pitch, you'll see just that light green area in the very center of the wicket. That is called the square, and that square has 8 pitches, 8 cricket pitches all the way across it. This is a large enough facility that you can use multiple pitches. In other words, the wicket has been prepared for the easternmost pitch. That's the one that you're playing on now. It's the one furthest to the east. But there are actually 7 other pitches that are used. And the way that you use the square is that you want for all of the pitches, generally speaking, to have an equal amount of use over time. So this weekend we're using pitch number 8. Edge and gone. I'll get back to that explanation in a second, because that is the 5th wicket that went down. A big swipe by Shreyan Satish, but not able to get it off the middle of the bat. Comes off the outside edge, and that is the 3rd catch taken behind the wicket by Arjun Mahesh. Absolutely brilliant behind the stumps. You'll never see him drop a catch. And Shreyan Satish, unfortunately, has to take the long walk back to the pavilion. That is another wicket for the Dallas Xforia Giants. There you see a good replay. That tells the story right there. Shreyan Satish knows he nicked it. Didn't even bother looking back at the umpire. And frankly, the umpire didn't even need to indicate that that was out, because it was, for all money, everybody knew that that was gone. Anyway, so back to the explanation. That is a brilliant question. You have 8 wickets, in other words 8 surfaces across that big square that are prepared for play, and you don't want to use one more than the others. So over time you will use, that's the one that's the westernmost, and you go all the way across to the easternmost. Now you certainly can't, it's not a big enough facility that you can keep the same distance. Ideally you'd want for it to be about 70 yards. So let's say you have the pitch in the middle that is being used. The pitch in the middle, maybe pitch number 4, then you can have maybe equidistant. Maybe you have 75 yards on one side, 75 yards on the other side. But anytime you use any of the outer pitches, you will have the situation where you're going to be closer to one side of the boundary than the other. So hopefully all of that makes sense. And I think, look, there are, let's call it undergraduate level questions, and they're graduate level questions. That to me was a graduate level question, and it's evidence, Ms. Poole, wherever you are, that you are listening and paying attention, and it is very much appreciated. Anyway, new batter is Sidesh Patara, the captain. Played into the offside. Says missed an opportunity here, but I think you've seen, with 5 wickets down now, in theory this match does not have much further to go, and maybe the only intrigue is whether or not the Lone Star Athletics will be able to bat out 20 overs regardless of how close they come, because the objective from here might just be to make sure that you bat all the way through to not take such a big hit on your net run rate. This is played into the offside. Chaitanya Bishnoi coming off the ropes, does the cleanup work there. 2 runs and yet another wicket from that over. 27 from the last 5, so the scoring rate has slowed all the way down. End of over number 7, the score is 45 for 5.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Okay, so over number 8 about to start. It's going to be Nubasha Sheikh to continue. Bowled over number 2. Went for 15. He's a better bowler than that. Starts out here with a dot ball. And a long way to go for the Lone Star Athletics. They're needing another 145 runs. Pulled away into the deep. Long run, not going to get anywhere near to the boundary. That's to the bigger side of the ground also. So they'll jog through for a couple. So Sidesh Patare has his work cut out for him as a captain. And I've made the point before, but it bears repeating here that the Lone Star Athletics have had the top order of their team decimated simply because they've lost a lot of people, a lot of batters to national duty. Currently, the USA team is playing in Namibia. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, the game is due to tip off. It's an ODI, and it tips off at, I think, the first ball is at 2:30 a.m. Central Time tomorrow morning. So if you've not gotten enough cricket from here in the Grand Prairie Cricket Stadium tonight, you can take a quick nap and then wake up at 2:30 in the morning to watch the USA team. There you will see Shayan Jahangir, you'll see Smith Patel, and you'll also see Milind Kumar. Those 3 ordinarily are in the top order of the Lone Star Athletics side, but when you've missed all of those, Arthur Naki, I stand corrected. So 3 deliveries here make that 4 deliveries into over number 8. A long way to go, but it seems like the writing is on the wall. Goes past the outside edge, too wide for the liking of umpire Samir Bandekar. So still 2 balls remaining here in over number 8. And so now it may just be the case that we're going through the process of seeing who can make a good name for themselves and put good results on the board without worrying about who's going to win this game. Because from here, it seems as though only one person can win this game, or one team can win this game. And according to my friend, Mr. Arthur Naki, net run rate does not matter anymore after 3 losses and 2 no results. And I'll take your word for that, sir. You're much more experienced with that kind of stuff than I am. This is wide, too wide. Yet another extra, so 7 extras so far. 7 extras out of 50. That extra brings up the 50. Amazingly, 14% of the runs are being scored in extras, so that's not something that they'll be happy with. But anyway, long way to go in terms of this innings, but again, it just seems as though only one team is going to win it from here, needing to score from here at the rate of 11.18 and over. This is played into the leg side. Should be a couple. A long run for Chetene Bishnoi. They'll get 2. Don't think they'll think about 3. But essentially, that what they just did is what they need to do the rest of the game. Need 2 runs off of every ball virtually the rest of the way. That's not easy. 7 runs come from that over. End of over 8. The score is 52 for 5. Shubham Ranjane starting over number 9. Slammed in the air toward us here at deep extra cover. An aggressive shot that time by Sidesh Patari, taking the bull by the horns. You do not get to 150 more runs, 134 more runs without first getting 4 of them. That is a good positive strike from the captain all the way down the ground. Again, wide of the fielder, that is Gaurav Bajaj, standing inside the circle at mid-off. Goes away for 4. There you see, that's a good look at it. They're just going over the top, and they're choosing to keep a relatively aggressive field. Gaurav Bajaj inside the circle at mid-off. Mid-on is also inside the circle, so they can drop fielders back if they'd like. You're outside of the power play now, but they're keeping them up, asking Sidesh Patari to hit over the top. For me, that's an aggressive move. I don't mind being aggressive because essentially you're daring them to go over the top. That's a good-looking shot. Has to be said, that's a brilliant shot. There you see Gaurav Bajaj jogging after that ball, but he started out inside the circle. Once again, you have the option of dropping the fielders back. You can have as many as 5 outside the circle. As of now, the field is almost set as though it's still inside the power play. There's a deep third and a deep fine leg. A swipe and a miss. It's going to be a wide. Actually, that's not exactly accurate. There's 3 fielders, actually 4 outside the circle. There's a deep point. There's a deep mid-wicket. Make that deep square leg. There's a deep fine leg. There's the view right there. To your left of your screen, from deep point to deep third. In the background, there you see deep fine leg, and there you see deep square leg, all on the boundary. Those are the 4 outside the circle. Bouncer. Good delivery. Good sharp bouncer. You like seeing that. Those of us who fancied ourselves as bowlers at one point in our lives like seeing a bowler test the middle of the wicket. And speaking of bowlers, and I said this a couple of weeks ago, and I just have to take a moment to recognize that we have somebody watching from above today. The great Mark Child, former teammate of mine in Houston, we laid him to rest in a beautiful ceremony yesterday. So Mark, we know you're looking down. I know you're also telling me that I needed to start talking about how to bowl a proper in-swinger and everything else that you taught me over the years. Rest in peace, my friend. So 2 balls remaining here in over number 8. Over number 9, make it. Shubham Ranjana is into his 2nd over. Hasn't been very expensive. In fact, even with that 4 that was struck, he's only conceded 7 runs and he has taken 1 wicket. So we've gotten to the point now. Oh, playing this one off the outside edge. Slightly more defensive field here. And there you see, I started saying a slightly more defensive field. That representation on the bottom left of your screen is what the field looks like. 4 fielders outside the circle. You can have as many as 5, so they can choose to drop 1 more back if they'd like. And in fact, we could update that graphic because they've just dropped Gaurav Bajaj back to mid-off, or from mid-off about 30 yards. So a little bit more defensive field here. Played fine. Whoa, run out opportunity. Oh, a direct hit there and he's gone for all money. Captain wanted to go for the run. Don't think it was ever on. And if we could see that replay again, I think if this is a direct hit, he's gone by a mile. But that is the end of over number 9. The score is 57 for 5. This should give us a look here. Took off running, left stranded. Here's a throw. Not a very good throw, has to be said. If it were on target and if it didn't bounce 3 times, it may well have found him short. But that is the end of over number 9. The score after 9 is 57 for 5.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Played off the back foot, fielded at short cover, but not well enough to prevent a run. So Rembrandt has been there for a while. 4 from 6. Siddharth Patara 8 from 12. Interestingly, Siddharth Patara came in after Rembrandt, but Siddharth Patara has faced twice as many balls as Rembrandt has. So a single starts over number 12 here, or over number 10 here. Speaking of 12, you need 12 runs and over from here to win, and you're scoring at the rate of 6 and over. So that tells you exactly what the chances are of you being able to win this. Mubashir Sheikh going past the outside edge again. And I think you'll see here where you're at the stage of the innings where those required rates change immediately and change dramatically, because now you're exactly at 12 and over needed, 128 needed from the next 64 balls. Advancing down the track, doesn't hit it cleanly but gets it over the infield. They want 2, coming back for the 2nd. Not the cleanest of throws, and they'll get there eventually. So what they just did, I think I said it a second ago, what they just did is essentially what they need to do for the next 63 balls. They need 126 runs, and they have 63 balls left. So they need 2 runs off of every ball. If you ever watched the cricket match, you know that that's not easy. And you'll get the odd 2 here or there. You might get the odd 4 here or there, but it is difficult to maintain that pace over the entirety of an innings. That is a single down to deep third. And so you're 2 balls away from it being the halfway point of the innings. Now, at this stage of their innings, the the Dallas Xforia Giants had absolutely started blasting. They had 89 runs at the end of over number 10. So you're about 27 runs behind that pace here. Played off the back foot, but again, just to that man in the deep. So you're certainly behind in terms of the number of runs that you need. And in addition, you've lost 4 more wickets than the Dallas Xforia Giants did at this stage in their innings. So all signs here, unfortunately for the Lone Star Athletics, point to a pretty big loss unless one or both of these batters do something very different. Solid in defense here, but doesn't do you any good when you're needing another 124 runs in the next 60 balls. End of 10, 62 for 5. Halfway through the innings, this is going to be Abhinav Chowdhury to take up the attack from the river end. Oh, thick edge goes between first slip of the keeper. It will go for 4. There will be conversations between the captain and his keeper there because it feels like they both had a chance to go for it. Oh, I think it was just out of reach of Arjun Mahesh, and then the captain probably thought that he was going to be able, that Arjun Mahesh would have been able to get to it, and maybe Chaitanya or Akashik Gomel, there you see, he is essentially at a second slip position. He's relatively wide. If he's at a regulation first slip position, that is in his lap. Hammered away in the deep. This is Chaitanya Bishnoi. I keep calling his name when I mean the captain. But they go through for a couple of runs here. So the drop from the very first delivery goes for 4. This next delivery, a couple more into the outfield. So 6 runs from the first 2 balls. Hammered away. This will go for 4. Chaitanya Bishnoi just jogging. He knows he'll not go anywhere near this. So I'll tell you what, you have the opportunity to express yourself here. You're probably not going to win this game, but all you can do is just essentially throw the bat at the ball and see what happens. And so 10 runs from the first 3 balls here in over number 11. Rembrandt up to 16 from 11. Sidesh Patare 11 from 16. That's interesting. Reverse those two. They reversed those 2 numbers. 16 from 11, 11 from 16. Partnership, not a whole lot to jump up and down about, but as of right now, I think you've seen where they've tried to make something happen here. This is played into the deep. This is going to be 4 more. A long run from mid-wicket, but he can't get to it. So this is turning out to be the best over of the innings for the Lone Star Athletics. 14 runs from the over so far. Look at this delivery. Just getting this one short without being venomous, if you will. And he was able to pounce on that and pull it well in front of square. Any pull shot that goes in front of square tells you that the batter has all the time in the world to play that shot. So not much venom in that delivery. And so 2 balls remaining here in over number 14, over number 11. 14 runs coming from it already. For me, easily the best over the inning so far. Next ball from Abhinav Chowdhury. Very full and struck away in the deep. This might be 4 more. It will be 4 more. So this is turning into a monster over. You need 12 and over from here to win, but you have 18 runs already from this over and still 1 ball to come. So Abhinav Chowdhury will not be very happy with this over so far. And I think that you will see where they may go back to one of the primary bowlers this next over just to snuff out any chance, any thoughts that the Lone Star Athletics might have of being able to compete here. Good looking shot. Here's the last ball of the over. And this is played down the ground. Should just be a single. A good over. Easily the best over of the inning so far by the Lone Star Athletics. 19 runs come from that over, most of them from the bat of Shatrughn and Rembrandt, and that is the end of the over. The score is 81 for 5. So spin for the first time. The man whose name we've called a number of times already, Chetene Bishnoi. Left arm orthodox. He's bowling to 2 righties, so you like those odds. Left arm orthodox who will spin the ball away from the righties. So what he'll be looking to do is to have the ball grip and turn, but more to the point, he'll have the righties hitting to the big side of the ground. The screen, or on your screen to your right, is the big side of the ground that goes 80 yards to the square boundary. So it will take a monster hit from here to clear the ropes there. And there's 2 fielders in the deep that will be there to make sure that nothing happens in terms of those types of shots. This is played down the ground. Good sliding stop. I believe that's Sankirth Batula down there, who does enough to limit the damage to 2 runs. But you need a lot of runs, and you need them quickly. But it is the case that this pair have put on a decent partnership already. Unofficially, I have them at 53 runs from that partnership. Played back to the bowler himself, no run. Pair came together when the score was 44 for 5. It's now 83 for 5. Actually, that's not exactly accurate. I'll get back to that in just a second. Up, edged and taken. So my shot in math aside, they came together when the score was 44. So the partnership is worth 39, but it is broken here because he finds the outside edge. I mentioned that he's a left arm orthodox, so he bowls and turns the ball away from the lefty, or from the righties. If we can see that again, because that was good evidence of it there. The ball pitched, gripped, and turned away from the right-handed batter. He was looking to play it on the leg side, but just that bit of turn had the ball find the outside edge, and it looped in the air for a pretty simple catch at backward point. So hopefully we'll see this again. Look at this. We slow it all the way down. See, grip, and there. Turns just a little bit. He's looking to play it on the leg side to your right, but the ball comes off the outside edge, loops up in the air in a pretty simple catch. That's an easier catch than the one for the captain, Akarshit Gomel. Easier catch than the one that went between him and Arjun Mahesh with the gloves. So that, for me, was an excellent piece of evidence why a left-arm orthodox spinner is important in the context of a cricket match. If you're bowling to right-handers, you certainly have the opportunity to turn the ball across them, and when you get that ball turning in that direction, in that way, then you are able to find the outside edge. And finding the outside edge is certainly what you want to do in these situations. Now, the man who is now at the crease, baseball player, said it a number of times if you've been hearing me today, professional baseball player in the Chicago White Sox organization. He can hit the ball a mile, he can throw the ball a mile, and I think he needs some big hits here if they're going to be in any way able to challenge in this game. This ball is outside the line of off stump, and it's too far outside the line of off stump. Look at this turn again, drifting in, and look at this, look at the turn. Oh, that ball is turning away, and because of that turn, top left of your screen, you see the captain, Akarshit Gomel, now in his first slip. Now, from that direction, if you have that amount of turn, you should probably be bowling fuller than that. That last ball was short enough that Karan Patel could get on the back foot and play back to the bowler himself. 2 balls remaining here in over number 12. Tossed up, that is a great delivery. Those are the types of deliveries that batters do not like to see. Drifting in and then pitching and turning. Chetene Bishnoi is a very, very good bowler, and he does well enough to put the doubt in the minds of the batters. So 84 runs on the board, 6 wickets down, still another 102 left. So a long way to go toward respectability here. Quicker delivery this time, pushing it through, and it goes through without much fuss, but that is the end of another good over for the Dallas Xforia Giants. 3 runs coming from that over, 1 of which was a wide, and another wicket taken. End of 12, the score is 84 for 6. Going back to Sar Patwal, overs 1, 3, and 5 were his, and he has 3 wickets to his name, 3 for 11. Now coming back to close out his spell, bowling to Sidesh Patare, 11 from 16. And maybe they're looking to go for the kill here, the Xforia Giants. Looking for a quick single, not going to be there, and you hear the loud no from Karan Patel. And I think that would have been a suicidal run had they tried to take it. Good communication between these two. And so from where you are now, my sense is that you're going to need to have something to essentially allow you to believe that you can still win this. You're not out of the woods yet, and you can still, in theory, score 13 runs and over. You just had an over where you scored 19, so it's possible. Oh, almost a return catch. It was to his left. That's not easy. He's a right-hander, but it was in the air long enough that it just may have gotten close to him. I thought he might have had the chance for a return catch there. So he's down to the last 4 balls of his day with the ball, I'm sorry. And excellent figures, 3.2 overs, 3 for 11. So his economy rate is 3.5. Absolutely brilliant bowling from the opening bowler, Sar Patwal. And coming in now to the last half, or the last 2/3 of this over. Down the leg side, and it's going to be wide. He'll have to re-bowl this one. So another 4 balls remaining. 86 runs is your score. At the equivalent stage in the innings, the Dallas Xforia Giants had 118 runs. So you are 32 runs behind the pace, and you've lost 5 more wickets. So again, this just gives you a sense of how much ahead of the game the Dallas Xforia Giants are. Down to the last 3 balls here. Sar Patwal, who did not play in yesterday's game, at least not from my memory, but is doing his best here to give a good account for himself. And a long way to go, but exactly another 100 runs are needed for victory. Chasing 186 is your target, and you have exactly 86 runs. So you have exactly 100 needed in the next 45 balls. Oh, tries to play this off the back foot, goes through to the keeper. Not a clean collection there by Arjun Mahesh, but no harm, no foul, as they say. By the way, don't know how many of you who know this rule. You see the helmet on the ground behind the keeper, blue helmet. If the ball misses the keeper himself and hits that helmet, that scores 5 penalty runs to the batting side. So the reason you need the helmet on the ground is because when a spinner is bowling, the keeper is up close to the stumps and you need the helmet for protection. But if you have the situation even more that if you don't want to have the opposition, or you don't want to have the fielding side running back and forth with the helmet on and off the field, so you put the helmet on the ground in the location where it's least likely to be struck, because if the ball hits it, again, that's 5 runs to the opposition, or to the batting side. But to whatever extent you can, you do whatever you can to make sure that ball doesn't ever hit, because you don't like giving away free runs, if you will. Short delivery up in the air, catchable and taken. A good short ball. And Patwal is celebrating. The last ball that he bowls produces yet another wicket. That is wicket number 4 for him. A good short delivery. Not expected. You don't think Sidesh Patare would have expected him to bowl a bouncer here. And he was advancing down the track. Hey, that was a simple catch. And it was taken running backward that time by Remandar. And that is wicket number 4 for Sar Patwal. He's done his best with the ball, and that is wicket number 7 overall. 3 runs and a wicket come from his last over, so he's bowled really well. Overall figures 4 for 14. Excellent spell. And that is the end of his day with the ball, but he's dragged his team toward let's say, sniffing distance of a pretty emphatic victory here. End of over number 13, the score is 87 for 7. Into over number 14. And this is being bowled yet again by Chaitanya Bishnoi. 1 for 3 from 1.1 overs. Chaitanya Bishnoi bowling over number 14. Karan Patel has been there for 7 deliveries. By the way, the new batter at the non-striker's end is Aaron Satish. Bowled him, clean bowled him. I think you will see on the replay that this drifts in from around the wicket, pitches, straightens, and takes out middle and off. It will take a little bit of time to organize the replay, I would think, but here it is right here. Look at this, drifting in from around the wicket. And this is a magic ball. Look at this. Pitch, turn. That is an unplayable delivery. That is a delivery that you dream about as a left arm orthodox spinner. Just really, to me, an unplayable delivery. And that is wicket number 8 that goes down. And about the only intrigue that is left in this match is whether or not you'll bat for all 20 overs. You're still 99 runs adrift of your target. For what it's worth, you need to score at 18 runs, 14.85 runs and over from here. Look at this delivery again, drifting in from around the wicket, and it pitches essentially on leg stump. It might have pitched outside leg stump and straightens, turns, and hits middle and leg. That is the most brilliant of deliveries from wide of the crease. So it's coming in from that angle, pitches outside leg, and then turns back and hits middle and leg. Just absolutely tremendous. So your new batter is now Imran Khan Jr. Appeal for stumping. Karthik Natchamutu says no. Oh, I want to see that one again. Karthik Natchamutu, of course, is a square leg umpire, so it's his decision to make. From our standpoint, looking at it live, I'm inclined to agree with him, but let's just see what the replay shows. Leaning forward, oh, it looks like that back foot remained grounded, so that's a good decision by Karthik Natchamutu. Next delivery, shorter, played off the back foot, a single down the ground. This is a magic spell being bowled here by Chaitanya Bishnoi. All of the bowlers really have done very well. Looking at where you are now, because to the extent that your ask is 15 runs and over from here, you're not going to do it when only one bowler has been expensive. Abhinav Chowdhury went for 19 from his over, but all the other bowlers have been absolutely brilliant. Saurabh Patwal, 4 overs, 4 for 14. Look at this replay here. So let's see if we can see on the delivered drifting in. It pitches outside the line of leg stump like I thought and came back in and hit Midland leg. Magic delivery, magic camera work, magic graphics. Everything that you want to see in a delivery right there is just beautiful. Now that just goes through everybody. That was the arm ball. This one didn't turn, and it gets through the keeper. It's going to be the captain, Akarshik Gomel, who goes after this one. Maybe we can see a replay on that again, because this is the arm ball. This is good bowling. This one does not turn. Look at this. He fires it through, and it does not turn. Just goes on with the arm, and that's why it beat the keeper. And there, see, there's the replay. That's great camera work. You see the middle finger doing the work, pushing it through. It does not turn, just goes on with the arm, and that's why Arjun Mahesh missed it. Brilliant camera work, and again, great work from the bowler himself. The variety that he has is really spectacular. So 2 byes are, I guess, a bit of a moral victory. Didn't hit the stumps. That's a type of delivery that goes on to hit the stumps. And you're down to the last 2 wickets here, 91 for 8, and it is going to be Aryan Satish who will take up the attack, or will be facing the attack, coming in now from Shubham Ranjane. 2 overs bowled so far. Shubham Ranjane 1 for 7. And here he is bowling to Aryan Satish. Single, easy single for the young man. Aryan Satish these days is 18 years old. And he is being asked to essentially bat all the way through the innings. Again, it would be essentially a moral victory if you're able to bat all the way through over number 20. I don't think that there is realistically any way that you can threaten to score 95 runs. You still have not gotten to the halfway point yet in terms of the runs that you need. You need 95, you have 92. But actually you need 94, you have 92. In the air, it's going to clear extra cover. Long run, Chaitanya Bishnoi. In fact, no, that's Gaurav Bajaj who will clean up there. Couple more runs. So you've now exactly gotten to the point where you're just past the halfway mark. You've gotten to 94, you need another 92. But you only have 2 wickets remaining, and you're down to the last 34 balls. So essentially, you're closing in on needing almost 3 runs off of every ball at this stage. So again, not much intrigue left in this match. Shubham Ranjane into his 2nd over. Played down the ground. Gaurav Bajaj will do the cleanup work here. It's a pretty straightforward single. You're inching along. 95 runs on your name or against your name at the end of over number 15. We're in over 15 now, and the Lone Star Athletics have 95 runs. At the end of over 15, the Dallas Xforia Giants had 142. So you are 47 runs behind the pace there. Played into the offside. Should just be 1. In fact, they might get 2. No, they don't want 2. You get the sense that were they under pressure, they could have gone for a 2nd run there. Abhinav Chowdhury is the man who cleans up in the deep. But as of this stage, this match is starting to take on the form of batting practice, because not a lot to go for the rest of the way. But having said that, I don't mean that in a derisive or insulting way, because it's good practice for example, Aryan Satish to be in the middle. Hammered straight, but down to the fielder in the deep. Short delivery bowled by Shubham Ranjane. Nurbasha Sheikh is the man in the deep who was able to clean that one up. But the point I was starting to make was that young Aryan Satish, 3 from 3, hasn't spent a lot of time in the middle and is one of the younger players in the side. So if he can bat all the way through the innings and essentially allow himself to face live bullets, if you will, this will be good for him. That's played away square. Should get at least 2 here, you'd think. Coming back for the 2nd now. The throw coming into the keeper's end. And 2 runs close out over number 15. 8 runs come from the over. At the end of 15, the score is 99 for 8.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Chaitanya Bishnoi back into the attack. Brilliant bowling so far, 2 for 5. They've not been able to lay a hand on him. Bowling to Imran Khan Jr., 5 from 7. Goes off the back foot, back to the bowler himself, no run. So once again, it's essentially a matter of knowing what the final score, the final margin of victory is going to be. This is going to be a pretty straightforward victory for the Dallas Mustangs. The Dallas Mustangs are not in the tournament this year. They won the championship last year. Not taking part in the tournament this year. The Dallas Xforia Giants is who I'm referring to. And they have gotten to the point now where there's just going to be 3 balls remaining here in over number 16, Chaitanya Bishnoi. Essentially helping to apply the finishing touches, whatever that looks like. For what it's worth, this is probably the last time we need to mention this. The required rate is 19.33. Single down the ground here with that. The required rate of 19.33. You get a single, it jumps to 19.85. So that tells you what the chances are of you being able to win this game. And again, for what it's worth, this may best be treated like batting practice for especially Aryan Satish. So I hope he'll take advantage of that opportunity. By the way, the 100 is now up. Tries to go off the back foot. See there, the captain, top left of your screen, is in position at slip for that exact type of delivery, the one that goes past the outside edge, or more importantly, threatens to kiss the outside edge, because if it does, it goes in his direction. Last ball here, over number 16. Played away square. Don't know that he wanted to get it that fine, but it will get it close to the boundary and get there now. So, nice shot here by Aryan Satish. Again, maybe just playing it more fine than he would have wanted to. I think he's trying to play that more square. But either way, he takes the 4 runs, and that gets him to 104. At least gets his side to 104. Aryan Satish himself gets to 9 from 6. That's the end of over number 16. The score is 104 for 8. .104 for 8, and it is going to be Sankirth Batula to take up the attack. 2 overs, 1 for 15. Sliced away, that will get down to deep third, but will not carry all the way down to the boundary. That appears to be Shubham Ranjane, who is down on the boundary there. So single off of the bat of Imran Khan Jr. He's now 7 from 11. Aryan Satish 9 from 6. And if you wanted to script a way that this match would end, I think it would end with Aryan Satish still at the wicket. Plays defensively here, and he'll get a single. And so this match is petering out into a pretty straightforward result. The Lone Star Athletics batted first yesterday, only scored 112 and lost by 7 wickets. Here they batted second. The Dallas Xforia Giants batted first, and it appears as though the Lone Star Athletics will lose this by pretty significant margin. Slammed away down the ground for 4. That is an aggressive strike by Imran Khan Jr. Proper pull shot, gets it well in front of square. It was actually just wide of long on. And a good solid sound off the bat in the context of this game. Not much difference there, but sometimes it makes you feel good to be able to clear the front leg and caress that ball across the ground for a boundary. Here's the next delivery. Bigger hit, but catchable and put down. Very straightforward catch there. And that is Nurbasha Sheikh, who looked it all the way in, but could not close the deal. Look at this. Pulled into the deep, Imran Khan Jr., and from that angle, you see that got to him, maybe waist height. Sometimes those balls that hit flat to you in the deep are the hardest to catch, so we don't want to be too harsh on him, but it definitely is a ball that should have been taken. Catchable or run out opportunity. Oh, what a backup. That is brilliant. Look at that backup. That is the captain himself, Akashit Gomel. I think I could have gone away for bonus runs, for extra runs, and he does his best, diving to prevent that one from going across the ropes. Anyway, last 2 balls coming up here in over number 17. Sankirth Batula. Slower delivery in the air, catchable. The bowler will take it himself. And no send-off this time because all of the intrigue is gone out of this match. That is wicket number 9 that goes down. That is a brilliant piece of bowling. Went slower ball into the pitch. And Imran Khan Jr. playing way too early and just popping it up. Pretty straightforward chance. Here you see, I don't know if we can see the full replay of that because he went absolutely pace off. And just getting Imran Khan to play just way too early for that one. And it's the last man coming in here with a grin on his face. It looks like Mr. Nakash Basarat is very happy to just have been there. There is a slower delivery. Look again from here. Look at how he releases this. There. He releases it like a leg cutter. That is a great piece of work. Good camera work. And you see where essentially he released it. Leg cutter into the ground. Or into the pitch rather, and a pretty straightforward catch that the bowler himself is only happy to take. Wicket number 9 is down. The partnership worth 24 runs, but I think that you'll see from here that things essentially are going to be all but academic. By the way, that was the last ball of over number 18. Here's a replay again. Look at this leg cutter. That gives you a good look here. So running his fingers down the outer edge of the ball. In other words, he's bowling it as though he's a leg spin bowler. Stumping opportunity gone, and that is the end of the game. So 2 wickets in 2 balls. The last ball of over number 18 results in a wicket. Or over 17 results in a wicket, and now the first ball of over number 18. And there you see a good piece of bowling. Another delivery that drifts in from around the wicket. Pitches, turns away. This time it misses the outside edge. But a quick collection, and Arjun Mahesh with his 4th dismissal. 3 catches and a stumping. Here's this next a replay here. Drifts in, watch the back foot. There, the back foot goes down and in the air and is out of the crease when Arjun Mahesh catches it and disturbs the stumps. Good, clean piece of stumping. Interestingly, the Lone Star Athletics score 112 runs in consecutive days. Yesterday, they batted first, scored 112. Today, chasing 186, they exactly score 112 again. So, 75 runs is where they need, or at least what the final margin of victory is. 74 runs, my apologies. Dallas Xforia Giants are the ones who win by that margin. So quick look at the full scorecard. Awazia 13 from 10, Arya Kanantha 10 from 12. Nitish Kumar unfortunately faced 1 ball, scored as many runs as I did. Mohammad Usman 12 from 10. Shreyan Satish 2 from 3. Shatrughan Rambran top scored 27 from 17. Sidesh Patari 12 from 19. Karan Patel 1 from 8. Aryan Satish 10 from 9. He was the last wicket. Imran Khan Jr. 12 from 14. Nakash Basarat came to the wicket but did not face anything. Best of the bowlers easily. Saurabh Patwal 4 overs, no maidens, 4 for 14. Norbasha Sheikh 3 overs, none for 27. Sankirth Batula 3 overs, 2 for 22. Shubham Ranjane 3 overs, 1 for 15. Abhinav Chowdhury 1 over, went for 19. And then at the bottom there, Chaitanya Bishnoi, excellent off spin or orthodox spinner, got that ball to drift and turn, had the arm ball mixed in there for good measure, and 3 wickets and only 10 runs scored. So there's your summary. A pretty convincing victory in the end for the Dallas Xforia Giants. Victory by 74 runs. Again, they batted yesterday first and ended up winning by, or second, and ended up winning by 7 wickets. So 2 very convincing victories this weekend over the Lone Star Athletics. So that tells us where we are in terms of the overall impact on this weekend. From Grand Prairie, we'll be taking leave of your attention as of right now, because that concludes the coverage for the night. Thank you for being with us. It's been a pleasure bringing the game to you and signing off here from the Grand Prairie Cricket Stadium. Good night and good luck. To Patwal, first delivery stroked to mid-off, no run there. So, run square of the wicket. And that is too full, absolutely too full, going over the top, and it lands far enough away for is Nobash Sheikh again. Big hit down the ground. That is a lovely shot by Arya Kanantha. Oh my goodness, that room for error if he hits it in that direction. This one now goes through the offside again. Again, with this field, you cannot afford to be wide. And it goes wide, delivery. Edged and gone. I heard to play for the US in Namibia. Appeal for a catch and gone! On the boundary, makes it more difficult to score. Now, you could just bowl full and straight and knock back middle stump. There's always that option. Sankir Batula with that fourth wicket using pitch number 8. Edge and gone. I'll get back to that explanation in a second, because that is the 5th wicket that went down. A big swipe by Strahan Satish, but not able to get it off the middle. Starting over number 9. Slammed in the air toward us here at deep extra cover. An aggressive shot, the attack from the river end. Oh, thick edge goes between first slip of the keeper. It will go for 4. Hammered away. This will go for 4. Chaitanya Bishnoi just jogging. He knows he'll not seen where they've tried to make something happen here. This is played into the deep. This is going to be 4 more. A long run from mid-wicket, but he can't get to it. Abhinav Chowdhury, very full and struck away in the deep. This might be 4 more. It will be 4 more. So this is turning it. I'll get back to that in just a second. Up, edged and taken. So my short delivery up in the air, catchable and taken. A good short ball for 7 deliveries. By the way, the new batter at the non-striker's end is Aryan Satish. Bowled him, clean bowled him. I think he will over number 16. Played away square. Don't know that he wanted to get it that fine, but it will get it close to the boundary and get there now. Pretty significant margin. Slammed away down the ground for 4. That is an aggressive strike by Imran Khan Jr. Here's the next delivery. Bigger hit, but catchable and put down. Very slower delivery in the air, catchable. The bowler will take it himself. And no send off this time. The ball. In other words, he's bowling it as though he's a leg spin bowler. Stumping opportunity gone, and that is the end of.
You're watching the 2024 Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Yash Technologies.